皆様ようこそ。2023年横浜タイヤプレゼンツフォーミュラードリフトジャパン FDJ2 Round 3スポーツランドスゴです。さあ今回はどんな戦いが待っているのでしょうか。 Everyone, welcome to the 2023 Yokohama Tire Presents Formula Drift Japan FDJ2. We are here at Round 3 Sportsland Sugo. Let's see what kind of battles we're going to be seeing. But before that, we're going to get into the qualify here today at Sugo. 今日はですね、予選日ということで追走はないんですが、今日の予選通って、そのドライバーたちが明日の、決勝日、ベスト16に勝ち上がり、お互い戦うという、ことになりますが、今日ですね21日金曜日単走が始まろうとしていますが、あいにく天候がちょっと霧が少し出始めている、少しウェットの路面、全体的にぬるぬるした感じの路面なので、乾いてたり濡れてるよりかはいいのかなと思いますが、ちょっとドライバーとしては嫌な路面かなと思います。So we are here, it's Friday, we're about to kick off the qualify. It's kind of dampy out there, and I know it's going to be a little slick for some of the drivers, but I guess it's better than being, blotzy, where it's not, it's dry and wet and dry and wet. But here you are, here we go.I'm Robbie Nishida、ラビー西田と申します。今日ね、予選、ジャッジ、そして、司会進行を少しさせていただきます。そして隣にいるのがケニー・ハリス。ケニー・ハリス also commentating, helping us out for the FDJ2 series. And next to me is Sean Adriano, all the way from the US, and Yoichi Imamura, our FD Japan judge. 僕の隣にいるのがショーン・エイドリアーノ、アメリカから、昨日来て、ジャッジしに来ました。そして一番奥にいるのが、我らがフォーミュラドリフトジャパンのジャッジである今村洋一ジャッジと、このメンツで、お送りしていきたいと思います。So these are the four that are going to be here talking to your ears. If you want to mute us, go ahead and mute us. ちょっと喋りがね嫌な方、ボリュームを下げていただければいいかなと思いますが、エントリーリストを見ていきますと、32台、今回、エントリーがしているみたいです。There's 32 cars total on the entry list, and here's the driver's list. こちらエントリーリストですが、Got anything to say?
No, Robbie's pretty much said all. So yeah, like Robbie was saying, you can see the driver's list right there. This is going to be a one live stream going on for FDJ2. It's going to be English and in Japanese. So you'll hear a lot of Robbie translating what I have to say.
そうなんです。英語と日本語の放送をね、両方ごっちゃでやっていきますので、ちょっと英語になったり日本語になったりしますが、こちらエントリーリストですね。新しく入ってきたニュードライバーだったり、常連組だったり、海外のドライバーだったり、女性ドライバーだったり、多忙な顔ぶれ、になっておりますのでね、誰が今回、予選トップになるのか、そして明日の決勝誰が勝ち上がるのか。We have foreign drivers, female drivers, new drivers, old drivers, like veterans, all kinds of people all in one here at FDJ2. Let's see who's going to come up on top today's qualify and also tomorrow's tandem.
Exactly. It's going to be very interesting being on this international track that we have here. It's very high speed. It's got very technical, but at the same time, I love it. It's amazing. I love being at international tracks. It has a beautiful setting for us.
そして、FDJ2 といえばですね、横浜タイヤのワンメイクのイベントとなります。So talking about FDJ2, it's a spec tire series. So let's go ahead and get into the tires right here. 横浜タイヤのですね、タイヤ、使用タイヤはすべてのドライバー、アドバン、ネオバの AD09 を使っています。All of the drivers are on Advan AD09. ワンメイクタイヤということで、グリップの差はイコールコンディションになり、そのためタイヤの、使い方、勝敗を分ける鍵になると思います。All the drivers are on same tires, all the same grip, so it really depends on the drivability of the drivers and also the setup of the car. And we're going to see who's going to come on top. タイヤの使い方はね、腕の差が大きくなる大会となりますので、そこも審査のポイントになるのかなと思いますが、審査のポイントを少し説明させていただきたいと思います。So talking about the judging portion of it, I know the tires has a big thing in how we're going to be judging and also watching the drivers' drivabilities. Let's go ahead and talk about the judging a little bit. They have a short video. I'll explain to everyone in English later, but we're going to go ahead and show you the video real quick. ということで、審査の V を、ご覧ください。
それではフォーミュラドリフトの審査方式について説明しよう。フォーミュラドリフトは3人の審査員によって審査が行われる。各審査員は走行ラインをチェックするラインジャッジ、ドリフトアングルをチェックするアングルジャッジ、 そして走りを統括的にチェックするスタイルジャッジが担当する。ラインジャッジ、アングルジャッジの
So we're going to get that audio quick fix. But yeah, they're talking about the setup of the track. And for those of you out there you can't see, it's a downhill into that outer zone one.
It's an uphill, then a
Yeah,
downhill. なのでね、コース、映像で見るとちょっと難しいかもしれないですけど、1コーナー上がってきて、1のアウトを過ぎた後、下っていく感じですね。で、大きく分けて4つの、ゾーンがあります。There's 4 different zones on this track. We'll talk a little about it later. Let's go ahead and check out the video. Or I'm sorry, not the video. We'll go ahead and show you the description. Outside zone 1, after the initiation, is on the left side, right in front of the judging stand. Right after that, there's another outside zone 2 that is on the left side, driver's left. Then you do a... No. So we're going to talk about the outside zone 3. After the transition, the outside zone 3 is on the right side. After you clear that, there's outside zone 4 right before the finish line. アウトゾーン1が左側、イニシエーションの後にあります。その後ですね、アウトゾーン2、左側にもう一つあって、振り返ってアウトゾーン3、4、右側を通っていきます。アウトゾーン4、過ぎたらすぐフィニッシュです。アウトゾーン1ですね、はみ出ないようにダイナミックに走ること、そしてアウトゾーン2から3にかけての振り返しがどれだけ激しくできるかっていうのが、予選での、高得点につながるのかなと思います。もちろんアウトゾーンなのでね、すべてのドライバー、アウトギリギリ走っていただきたいと思います。Obviously, it's all out zones. Outer zones, we want the cars to be closer to the outside, a dynamic and crazy initiation, going to the outside zone 1, filling the zones, and a dynamic transition going from outside zone 2 to 3 is probably the key factor to get a good score for the qualify.
Exactly. This is one of those tracks that Robbie loves. He loves outer zones, not the biggest fan of the inside cliffs, but yes, that's what it's all about. It's going to be momentum all the way through this track.
Yeah, but I hope they can make it out because it's kind of wet. So checking out in between outside zone 2 to 3, Sugo actually gave the grass a little haircut on the side of the hill. アウトゾーン2と3の間ですね、こちらこの FDJ となんとスゴ、スポーツランドスゴさんの方から、このね刈り込みをして FDJ とこの斜面のところに、書いていただいています。ありがたいですね。ちょっと、なんか散髪に行った気分でちょっと、さっぱりした気分なんですが FDJ と書いてあります。そして、こちら白くですね、また浮かび上がってます FDJ という文字です。So you go, there's looks like they got a fresh haircut with, the smooth FDJ lettering. Also on the top where it's white. Thank you to Sugo, Sportsland Sugo, for doing that for us for the event. Now let's go ahead and check out last year's number 1 qualifying run. 去年のね、単走1位の走行をちょっと、VTR で見ていきたいと思います。さあこちら、花輪選手の、
Here he comes, got a 75 like I said before on his first qualify run. Let's see how he's going to do. The hard aggressive flick right there, leaving the 3-2-1. Nice job carrying it through that whole outer zone 1. Full throttle, sending it into outer zone 2. And here he is flicking back around. Definitely stepping his game up, and he wants that 75 to rise. Let's see what the judges are going to say for him.
さあ今の花輪選手の88ポイントですね。That was the 88 driven by Hanawa. A beautiful run, a little out on the outside zones, but it was a good enough run to get the highest score. さあ、ちょっとねアウト出過ぎた部分もありましたが、1位通過、ダイナミックな走りがすごい見ものでした。それではですね、フォーミュラドリフトジャパン FDJ2 の、予選の方を始めていきたいと思います。Let's go ahead and start up the Formula Drift FDJ2. Formula Drift Japan FDJ2 Round 3 here at Sugo. Qualify is about to start. さあ予選の方始まっていきたいと思います。2023年横浜タイヤプレゼンツフォーミュラドリフトジャパン FDJ2 Round 3スポーツランドSugo単走予選が始まります。Let's go ahead and get it all kicked off here at Sportsland Sugo, starting off with the first driver.
Driver number 222, Yuichi Tashima in the Deer Motorsports Junction S14 Sylvia.
カーナンバー222田島雄一選手の、1本目スタートしました。
So we'll see how he's going to start us off here, coming up to this 3-2-1. Oh, and losing it right there. You can see how slick the track is with this damp conditions that we're dealing with.
さあちょっと1本目、気合が入りすぎたのか、路面がちょっとやっぱりもっとね濡れてきているのか分かりませんが、まあ、練習中もちょっとウェットだった状態なんですが、ちょっと力が入りすぎたのか1本目スピンをしてしまいました。残念。I know the drivers had time to practice in the wet as well, and I think the conditions have been the same. Maybe going first got to his nerves, but Tashima unfortunately spinning out right at initiation for his first run, so that's going to be an incomplete for his first run. 1本目、今の得点入らずということです。さあ1周長いのでね、ずっとコースを回って、まあ、ピットの方に戻っていく形になりますが、This is a big track, you know, it takes a while for the cars to drive around all the way to get back to the pits, but here you go, it's official, Tashima with an incomplete. さあ今のねオフィシャルのスコア、田島選手1本目残念ながらノーポイント。ちょっとね霧も気になってきていますが、このままね見にくくなる状態にならないことを祈っていますが、 I am just hoping that this fog is just going to stay where it's at, so it's not going to bother us here for the competition. Let me go ahead and knock on wood.
Exactly, that's what we suffered last year here was the fog, because we're about 100 feet in the air looking down at outer zone 1.
さあ続いてのドライバー、ゼッケン333田辺海人選手 Deer Motorsports in Junction.
Let's see how Kaito Tanabe is going to do, see if he can set us off right here. Coming up to this 3-2-1, bringing it around. Getting a tire a little bit deep into that 3-2-1, bringing it back around to this outer zone 1. Able to get into the zone. Here's where it gets real technical, adjusting the car through the conditions of the track, bringing it back to this outer zone 3. Oh! Just barely hanging on to that outer zone 4. Not the cleanest run. A lot of wavering throughout that run, but we're going to see what the judges are going to say.
ちょっと全体的にフラフラしています。まあ、もちろん路面コンディションが、良くないのは分かりますが、ハンドルの戻しが多い、まっすぐにこの振り返しもちょっと怪しいなというところですが、まあ1本走り切ったというところでしょうか。I know it's a lot of wavering there, a lot of steering corrections, and right there the transition doesn't look as smooth as we want it to be. So not going to lie, it's not going to be a high score, but I guess we will be scoring this.
So we'll see what the judges are going to give him on his first run, our first completed run of the day.
ちょっとね、やっぱりドライでもちろんね、白煙いっぱい上がっている状態で踏みっぱで走っていただきたいんですが、まあ、あいにく天気はまあコントロールできないので、この状況でも、うまくなんとか走り切ってもらいたいなというところですが、You know, it's the weather, so there's nothing we can do about it. Obviously, in the dry, it's going to be cool because you know a lot of throttle, a lot of smoke. It's going to look really dynamic. But we have to see how they do in the wet, and they have to try their best.
And there you go, 63 for his first qualify run.
さあ田辺選手の1本目63ポイント、63ポイントです。Multiple deductions from you know the wavering throughout the track. 今のね点数やっぱり減点がちょっとね車がフラフラしていたところでありました。さあ続いてのドライバーゼッケン551岩崎沙織選手 Team Saori with Globe Motis.
Saori Iwasaki at the line, ready to go for her first qualify run. Here she is approaching the 3-2-1. Coming around the bend right here. Oh, is it going to be too much? Is she going to be able to hang on? Coming into this outer zone 1. Oh, unfortunately right there, losing it. And over-rotating, approaching that outer zone 1.
やはりね、この路面、ちょっと見た目だとわからないんですが、やっぱり上りになっているところをウェットの状態でどのぐらい激しく振り出すか、っていうのが多分ね、ドライバー的には難しい部分なのかなと思いますが、watching this track on the screen, it doesn't look like it's much of an uphill, but it's probably hard to figure out how hard they should throw their car into outside zone 1 because if they come short, they're not going to make it up the hill. But if they do it a little too much, obviously you're going to spin or go off the track, and you don't want that. So that's an official Iwasaki It's an incomplete、岩崎選手の1本目、残念ながらノーポイント。2本目、頑張ってもらいたいと思います。
The advantage right now for these drivers is majority of their practice run has been in this wet condition. So hopefully these drivers can get it together, get some solid runs in the book, put some points on the board, and hopefully we'll have a top 16 going into tomorrow's competition.
そうなんです。今回ね、32台しかいないので、その中で16台ポイントを取ったドライバー、上位16台ですね、が明日のベスト16に進出します。ですがね、このウェットのコンディションなので、とりあえず得点を入れていかなきゃいけないという作戦方法もありますが、1本目でちょっとあまりにも激しく走りすぎて、失敗をしてしまったというドライバーもね、今までもあるので、ここはドライバーとチームの作戦かなというところですね。Tactics, because it's about if you go too hard on the first run, obviously you just want to get a score in to make it into the top 16, but also you don't want to come too short, because if you come too short, that could also get you on the edge or on the outside or in the bubble, making it into the top 16.
Looks like the next driver is ready to go at the line, number 66, Ryuma Okada in the K's Racing S15.
岡田龍馬選手、ゼッケン66番、1本目スタートします。
Correction, S14.
S14。Just S-Cat.
All right, here he is. Let's see how he's going to do in this 3-2-1 here. Looks like a little bit later on that initiation, coming back around into this outer zone one, carrying it through, taking a little bit of angle out. Could have been a little deeper in that zone, but trying to make it around through this course. Oh, unable to get a transitions from outer zone 2 to that outer zone 3. It was just too much for him.
もうちょっと進入から怪しい感じがしましたが、ウェットだったから、アウトゾーン1から2に行くところ届いたのかなというところですが、アウトゾーン2から、3にかけての場所でですね、ちょっと残念ながらスピンをしてしまいました。He didn't look so subtle from the initiation, a little late at the initiation, threw a little bit too much angle at the beginning, and couldn't carry it through. And I think if it wasn't wet, he probably wouldn't have made it all the way to the outside zone 2. But right there, spinning out after the outside zone 2, and that is going to be an incomplete for Okada. ということで、岡田選手もね、もちろんスピンをしてしまったということで、残念ながら1本目ノーポイントとなってしまいました。
Yep, there's the official right there, incomplete. But yeah, I got to say, this is the curse right now for FDJ2. It's this weather. They've been suffering it all season long. This is the third round.
Hey, you know what? But wet or dry, it shouldn't matter. We're drifting anyways. The car's sliding anyways, right?
As the fans would say, easier said than done. No.
Yeah, no, it is.
No, you're right. You're right.
That's what we're expecting.
Exactly.
で、まあ、ウェットでもね、ドライでも、もちろんね、ドリフトなんで車を滑らせていることには違いはないので、なんとかポイントを取って走ってもらいたいと思いますが、続いてのドライバー、ゼッケン767、ラーモン・ラッセル選手、アーシュ・渡辺、金取海、By Now Japan。
Ramon Russell coming through the chicane now, very wild driver. We're going to see how he's going to do on his first qualified run, approaching this 3-2-1 right now, bringing it around in the JZX 100. Can he carry this all the way through, trying to get back on it right here? Oh, unable to get to that outer zone 1, making a huge correction.
こちらも、アウトゾーン1向かう前にもうちょっと力んでしまって、ちょっと交代してしまう。まあ、一方ね、0点を取ってしまったんですが、ノーポイントとなってしまいました。残念ながら、ラーマン選手1本目、ノーポイント。So that's a fish, or, well, it's kind of obvious, but yeah, it's an incomplete for Rahman's first qualify run. I didn't know there was a outside or inside clip there to transition.
You're not the inside clip fan, so
okay,
there
yeah.
you are, the official score right there, or the incomplete for him. That's 4 incompletes we have right now for the 32 drivers out here competing for a top 16 spot for competition tomorrow.
とりあえず、現在トップが田辺選手。田辺 is leading the points right now.
Yes, with a 63.
Because he's the only driver that's got a score yet. But we do have another 27 more cars coming. あとね、27台。とりあえずスコアを取る。そして、その中でも高得点を取れるドライバーが予選トップで通過しますが、ゼッケン215、高田健選手、ガラージ・タカダ with Auto Shop Wise、1本目。
See how Takada's going to do, bringing it around here, approaching the outer zone 1. He's going to be able to hold on. A few corrections there coming into this zone. Not able to get all the way out to the zone, but looks like he's just trying to throw a run down. Oh, that's going to be close right there, approaching the outer zone 2, almost straightening. We'll have to take a look at that. Here he is bringing it into this finish. Not as exciting as the judges want to see.
ちょっとアウトゾーン2のところ2の部分でのふらつきがちょっとアングルの減点になってしまいますが、とりあえず1本走れたというところでしょうか。There's a lot of wavering and not much excitement or commitment through the track, but he does have a score. There's a lot of, like right there, I had to dock him for the angle there. And you have to understand, outside zone 1 and 2, they're worth 10 points each. Outside zone 3 and 4 are worth 5 points each for both line and angle. アウトゾーン1、2、両方ですね、ライン、アングルともにスコアは10点ずつ、そしてアウトゾーン3、4、5点ずつと、計ライン、アングル30点ずつ、そしてスタイルが全体的に勢い、安定性、迫力で40ポイントあります。さあ、高田選手1本目59ポイント。So that's a 59 from Takada's first qualify run. とりあえず得点入ったという感じでしょうか。So there you go. He does have a score in. 続いてのドライバーゼッケン117稲岡祐希選手 Junction with Deer Motorsports.
Inaoka ready to go, coming through the chicane now. See if he can carry it through for our completed runs here. Bringing it around 3-2-1 into this outer zone 1. Dip in about 2 tires right there through outer zone 1, bringing it back around. Nice job carrying it into that outer zone 2. Real deep in outer zone 3, but let's see this finish. It looks like he got a clean finish there for Inaoka.
It was very safe, but actually very smooth by Inaoka. 稲岡選手、ちょっと角度戻し気味なんですが、すごく安全な走りですが、全体的にコースいっぱい使えてスムーズな走り、もうちょっともちろんね、ウェットだから頑張って失敗したくないとは思うんですが、振り返しなどもですね、綺麗に、走り切りました。
So yeah, like you said, Robbie, real fluid throughout the run, real but deep in the zones, but like you said, carried the fluidity all the way throughout that course.
とりあえず、まあ、今まで走ってきたドライバーの中で一番安定して、その分のスコアが入ると思います。Out of all the drivers, that was probably one of the cleanest runs that I've seen today. さあ、稲岡選手1本目76ポイント。76ポイント。The 76. Like I said, very safe, but you know, getting on, getting a score in is very important. ちょっとね、スムーズで安定した走りだったんですが、ちょっと迫力に欠けてるかなというところですが、2本目期待したいと思います。So the first run, here we go, car number 350. カズマサ・スズキ from FDJ2 Car 2 Racing. 1本目です。
See how Suzuki's going to do. Struggled a little bit through the last 2 rounds. Let's see if he can find himself a good spot in this qualify run that he has. Filling outer zone 1 right there. Took a little bit of the angle out through outer zone 1, but here he is. Oh, huge correction, leaving that outer zone 2 to the outer zone 3. And unfortunately, that's going to be an incomplete for him.
いや今ちょっとアウトゾーン2の角度のつけ方ちょっと期待したんですが、その後大きなミスをしてしまいました。多分ノーポイントとなるでしょう。Suzuki taking it very shallow here on the angle, but kicking a lot of angle outside zone 2. It was very impressive, but that did also trigger a bigger mistake where he couldn't do a complete transition going outside zone 3, and that's going to be an incomplete. アウトゾーン2、3に行くところの振り返しちょっと躊躇してしまったのか、戻ってしまって1本目ノーポイントとなってしまいました。鈴木選手ノーポイント。That's an incomplete by Suzuki.See what he can put together for a second run. 2本目、どんな走りをするか期待したいと思いますが、続いてスタートラインについているドライバー ゼッケン235後藤光信選手 Team Tetsujin with Lavka.
Goto in the JZX 100 Mark II. Coming through the chicane now. Seems like he's taking a pretty safe approach to this 3-2-1. Initiating about at the 2 cone, coming around, but unable to keep it in drift after that 1 cone and reinitiating before that outer zone 1. Yeah, not looking clean for him at all. Looks like he was fighting the car, and then you can see right there, it over-rotated through that outer zone 3.
さあ今の走行、ちょっと、イニシエーションの後もですね、怪しい感じでしたが、単純にアウトゾーン3、4付近での、大きな戻りで、ノーポイントとなってしまいます。So it's kind of obvious that, he didn't look good from initiation, misses a line at outside zone 2, doesn't do a hard flick on the transition, but backs it in, going towards outside zone 4, and pretty much a huge correction right there. That's going to be an incomplete because it's an unchaseable lead. ということで、後藤選手1本目0点となってしまいました。2本目頑張ってもらいたいと思います。
Next, coming up to the line, ready to go, is number 16, Kota Watanabe in the AX YMR Racing with props S15.
そう、渡辺選手、
The man could cut some hair.
そうなんですよ。美容師なんですね。Yeah, he's a beautician or barber, let's say.
Exactly. Now let's see if he can cut this track up. Here he is coming around through the 3-2-1 into this outer zone 1 here. Nice job taking a little bit of angle, but bringing it all the way out to that outer zone 1. Wrapping it back around through the outer zone 2. Could have been a little deeper through that zone. But I gotta say, but I was just about to say it. He was very aggressive throughout the track, carried a lot more momentum, and you can see right there it was a little bit too much leaving that outer zone 3 into that outer zone 4.
ちょっとやっぱりアングルも浅めなので、アングルが浅いと外に出てってしまうという、アウトゾーン3から4にかけてもそうだと思うんですが、もうちょっと早くにね、もちろんこの路面でそうしろというのは難しいと思うんですが、ちょっと速度調整をアングルを使いながら速度を下げられなかった部分は、もちろんねウェットだからあると思います。I mean, he was shallow throughout the track, and that's going to take you more to the outside line, and not being able to do a little bit more of a harder flick going to outside zone 3, running less angle at outside zone 3 pretty much shoots you out where outside zone 4 is. And I know it's really hard to flick the car and keep it settled after the angle after the outside zone 2 to 3 area, but that's what we want the drivers to do, or you have to slow down in some kind of way. ということで渡辺選手1本目、ノーポイントとなってしまいました。It's an incomplete by Watanabe. Hopefully he can come back stronger for a second run.
And here we are at the line, ready to go. I see a few people in the chat right now chanting his name. Is number 11, Sam Lucas Sammet in the S15. See how he's going to do on his first qualify run.
さあ、サム・ルーカス選手の1本目、サミット選手。
Here he is
去年
leaving.
ここで4位。He was fourth here last year.
Yeah, he did really good last year. See how he's going to do this time around. Bringing around that 3-2-1 into this outer zone 1. Coming in real hot to that zone.
Whoa.
Dipping a tire, but able to hang on. Wrapping it back around into this outer zone 2. And you can hear him getting right back on it. Not able to get all the way out to that outer zone 2, but dipping 2 tires. Is he going to be able to hang on and carry it into this last zone to the finish?
Wow. I like the way he kicked out the angle at outside zone 3. And to be honest, that was kind of thrilling because I didn't know if he was going to make it or not because he did do a flick. Now, taking out a little bit of angle, going to the outside zone 1, but kicking out enough at outside zone 2, right there, and right here. For me, that's going to be a full score for angle to outside zone 3. Had to, mess with the steering a little bit to bring it back. But overall, I think, for the condition the track is, I think it was a pretty good run. 路面コンディションを考えると結構、度胸があるアウトゾーン3かなと思いますが、ちょっとねハンドルの、ハンドリング入力ちょっと直したりとかしましたが、全体的にはこの路面でいうとまあまあ度胸がある走りかなと思います。
There you are, 75 points for Samet's first run.
さあ、サム・ルーカス選手1本目75ポイントです。75、もうちょっとラインアウトに寄れたら良かったのかなというところですが、全体的にまとめてきました。So he did get a score on the board. Now let's see what he's going to do for a second run. 続いてのドライバー、オーストラリアから今日本にやってきていますゼッケン144、ダニエル・メスマー選手 Sideways Experience. So Mesmer coming all the way from, same as Samet, but coming all the way from Australia.
Yep, our other foreign driver, here he is, approaching 3-2-1, sounds very aggressive into that 3-2-1. Here he is, bringing it all the way out to that outer zone 1. Close right there, we'll have to see if he did 3 tires. He had 2 for sure. Here he is, bringing it back around into this outer zone 2. Nice job with the flick back around. And here he is, trying to carry it all the way through that outer zone 4 into the finish. And the pace is starting to pick up in these drivers.
Yeah, it's 2 cars in a row right here that we see, some dynamic driving here in the conditions that we have. このね、コンディションの中でも結構ダイナミックな走りをしていましたが、今のね、リプレイを見るとアウトゾーン1の部分ですね、左の前のタイヤもコース外になってしまいました。
So here's the replay right here.
もう一回リプレイ見てみましょう。ちょっとこれ残念なんですが、ここで左の前もコースアウトということでギリギリかなと思っていたんですが、残念ながら、3奪ですね、になってしまいますので、今の走行すごい走りだったんですが、残念ながら0点となってしまいます。That's an incomplete. No matter how good the run is, you have to make sure that you're on track, staying on track. Man, just imagine if he was on track. That would have been a pretty good score, in my opinion.
Yeah, I got to say, his approach to that 3-2-1 was very aggressive, and I liked it. He picked up the pace, but he's got to tone it a little bit down to get into that outer zone 1 and not overshoot it.
今のね、いいペースだったんですが、もうちょっとコース内に抑えられたら、2本目ちょっと期待したいと思いますが、続いてのドライバー、ゼッケン67番、大友隆一選手 from 小松 Racing.
Let's see how Otomo's going to do in his IS300. Bringing it around here. Not too bad through that outer zone 1. Sounds very good ripping around this track. Nice job through outer zone 2. Just adjusting himself right before he went into that outer zone 3. But here he is carrying it strong. But maybe too strong into that finish.
Hey, but that was on track. So
Yeah,
that's a
was.
deduction. 今のもですね、最後の方ちょっとね、エキサイティングな、走りになりましたが、結構リスクを背負ったような走り、こうした大友選手。アウトゾーン1にもですね、まずまずの角度をつけながらアウトゾーン3ちょっと振り返し躊躇しましたが、アウトゾーン4ラインちょっとタイヤは出てしまいましたが、アウトフィニッシュしていきました。So he did go off track towards the end of the run, but I would say that, other than the transition from outside zone 2 to 3 and going off the track, overall it was a pretty good run by Otomo.And, talking about it's obvious to see that the track is not, in the best conditions, but within this condition, I think that's a pretty good run by Otomo. このコンディションの中ではですね、まずまずの走りをOtomo選手もできたんじゃないかなと思います。
So we'll see you. There you go. 80.
さあ、1本目、80ポイントです。
Top qualifier right now.
大友選手1本目、80ポイント。That was pretty good.Scoring 80, I think that's pretty much being in the safe zone. 80点取れば安心なのかなと思いますが、あとねまだ、10何名のドライバーが控えていますので見ていきたいと思います。さあ続いてのドライバーゼッケン773七海ですね、塚本七海選手 from 日比野塾。今ね現在アメリカの方でも活動している、塚本選手。She's also driving in events in the US too, so looking forward to seeing big stuff from her.She
is, and here she is coming around through the 3-2-1. Different approach into this outer zone 1. Nice job filling that zone. Just over-rotating, leaving that outer zone 1, throwing her offline to get to that outer zone 2. So very unfortunate. That's going to be an incomplete for her.
やはりウェットの状態でゼブラに乗るのもですね、リスキーな、もちろんそのリスクを背負わなきゃいけないドライバーもいっぱいいますが、 やっぱりちょっとぬるぬるした路面、そしてゼブラは塗装があるのでね、結構滑りやすくなっているので、ちょっとそれでいろいろ、なんていうんですかね、安定性を崩しちゃったのかなと思います。You know, getting on the rumble strips in the rain is really harsh because, you know, it is bumpy and also the paint on the rumble strip does throw you off as a driver, and maybe that's what affected her. But hopefully she can come back stronger for the second run. これね、七海選手、2本目、頑張って走っていただきたいと思います。1本目残念ながら、ノーポイント。So that's official. Her first run is going to be an incomplete.
All right, next at the line is number 10, Kenichi Takai in the D-Link with Tetsujin S15.
甲斐健一選手、1本目。前回のラウンドではね、目立った走り、していました甲斐選手。ちょっと今日はね、この路面でどんな走りをするのか。I think he did well in qualifying from what I remember. Let's see what he's got. What he's got for us for the first qualifying run here in this condition.
Here he is bringing it into this outer zone 1. Not too bad, taking a little bit away of his angle right there through that outer zone 1, but bringing it back around. Oh! And hitting that edge of the track right there, spinning out.
やはりゼブラに乗ると安定性を失ってしまいますね。The cars react so different once they get onto the rumble strip. This kind of shows right here. You know, we don't ask the drivers to get on the rumble strip either. They could stay on the track, but that's just a buffer zone where the drivers have the choice if they want to get on the rumble strip, they can. ゼブラに乗るのはですね、乗らなきゃいけないというところではないんですが、ドライバーたちが、自分でリスクを背負う、部分として、ゼブラに乗ってしまいます。やっぱり、ウェットの状態だとゼブラ滑りやすくなっています。残念ながら甲斐選手1本目ノーポイント。So that's going to be an incomplete from Kai's first run. ちょっと白煙も出てたんですが、雨が上がったのかな、霧なのかな。I don't know. I saw a lot of smoke coming out from the previous few drivers, so maybe it is that condition. It's that track condition right now where it's kind of blotchy and it's starting to drive up because it doesn't look like it's.
It's that damp, annoying rain.
Yeah, exactly. This is kind of annoying because when you stand out all day and you're like soaked and you don't even realize it. さあ、続いてのドライバー、ゼッケン32番大関和也選手、Twins Inc. with Murata Motors with Tops Racing。ド派手なエアロのこの1号、very aggressive body kit on this S15 here. Let's see what Ozeki's got.
Let's see how aggressive he's going to be on his run. Ozeki coming around outer zone 1. You can see the smoke right there trailing him. And like he said, there's probably little dry spots here and there. But here he is bringing it back around into this outer zone 3. Just sparing himself, approaching this outer zone 4 with a strong finish right there, throwing some angle into that zone.
さあということでね、ちょっとウェットなので角度をあまりつけないアウト2にもちょっと寄り切れない感じがしましたが、1本目なんとか、スコアを入れるためにですね、走り切りました。アングルは全体的にまずまず、そしてあとはちょっとラインでは減点あるのかなというところですが、全体的のスコアが何ポイントになるのか。I know he didn't make it all the way out to the outside zones. And, you know, the switchback didn't stay with the outside zone 3 area, so he does get a deduction there. But I would have to say overall, in this condition, good enough angle, in my opinion. さあ、1本目、大関選手75ポイント。That's a 75 from Ozeki's run. Very safe, but at the same time has a score. So, I mean, tactics. とりあえずスコアを入れなきゃいけないっていうのは本当第一、段階、前提なのでね、皆さん頑張っていただきたいと思います。続いてのドライバー、ゼッケン786、カーン・ロハブ選手、Our Nation。さあ、it's Rohab.
Let's see how Rohab's going to do. Rohab, really aggressive driver. Here he is coming around in his S15, bringing it into this outer zone 1, adjusting himself right there, right on the edge of the track. Carrying it through this outer zone 2. Looks like he has a solid run going for him. Dipping 2 tires right there, but just saving it and bringing it into this outer zone 4. And you can see the struggles of the track, being able to throw smoke in different zones.
やはりね、白煙とかも出ているので、ちょっと乾いている部分もポツポツ出てきていると思いますが、全体的に、ロハブ選手、 コースいっぱい、使っています。角度はすごくついているわけではないんですが、安全面を考えた、ぐらいの走りなのかなと思います。なのでね、すごいアタックしている感じがしませんが、全体的に綺麗にまとめたような、感じがします。It looks like he did take it a little bit of a safer route throughout the track, but getting a score on the board is really important. There you go.
79.
ということで、ロハブ・カーン選手1本目79ポイント、79ポイントです。79. That puts him in second place right now, and we have a couple of 75s and 76s. So you definitely want to be in the mid 70s in order to do, make it into the top 16. さあ、続いてのドライバーゼッケン28番、深田樹選手、トトハウス、ティーム、ダンラップ。さあ、深田選手、フォーミュラドリフトジャパンにも出ているお父さんの娘さん。The driver that we have, Fukada, Tadahiro Fukada from FDJ, his daughter, a very young driver here in FDJ2.
Exactly. She came out in her dad's car last round at Ebisu, but here she is back in her car, piloting it, coming around into this outer zone 1. Could have been a little deeper through that zone. She's trying to carry it through to this outer zone 2 here. Able to hold on and get it into that zone, bringing it back around to outer zone 3. Oh! But just losing it right there through outer zone 4 into the finish.
終わったと思った瞬間、ちょっとコースアウトして、スピン、ハーフスピンをしてしまいました。残念。Fukada. Just as we thought that she's got a cone under her car too. Just as we thought that she is finished, going to the finish line, she spun, half spun, and also went off track. Unfortunate, but that's going to be an incomplete. 全体的にね、アタックをする感じの走りじゃなかったんですが、安全に、コースを走り切ろう、ポイントを取ろうという感じの走りでした。ちょっとね、難しい路面の中、うまく最後の方までうまくいったんですが、このアウトゾーン3から4、ちょっと難しそうですね。Looks like going from outside zone 3 to 4 is very hard, especially in this track, the weather we have and the conditions on the track. Just as we thought that she's going to finish it, got an incomplete. 残念ながらノーポイントとなってしまいました。
Exactly, and you could see how she approached from the 3-2-1 into that outer zone 1. You could see kind of the struggle going uphill, judging their car and how much angle they're pushing into that zone and trying to make it all the way to the zone.
そうなんです。皆さん、今ですね、半分以上のドライバーが走り切りましたが、まだ7名しかドライバー、点数入ってません。There's only 7 scores right now. We're already halfway through, over halfway through the top, or out of the 32 drivers we have. So getting a score is very important, I think. ね、スコアを入れるのは多分すごく、大切な部分なんでね、2回0点となってしまいますと絶対に明日の16には残らないので、なんとかスコアを取って、その中でも高いスコアが16名、明日のベスト16に行きます。Get a score in, that's really important. Then get a higher score within the top 16, making it into top 16. That's really important here. Let's go ahead and see some scores, see if these drivers could punch out some scores. さあ、続いてのドライバーゼッケン219、杉田秀彦選手、Worker。珍しい大会では珍しい C33 ローレル。You don't see much C33 Laurels driving on track at competition.
You really don't. Here he is coming around the 3-2-1 here. You can see that smoke shell ripping around, and it looks like the sweet spots on the track are getting dry, bringing it around into this outer zone 2. Nice job on the edge of the track. Holding back a little bit into that outer zone 3, but trying to hang on here through the finish because that's been a danger zone for a lot of these cars.
ちょっと、コースの後半浅くなってしまいましたが、全体的に一応スコアは入っていますが、ちょっと浅いかなと、角度的には浅い、感じました。そして多分ね、そのスコアを取るために、なんとかそのコースを走っている感じがしますので、まあね、この難しい路面の中、なんとか戻さずスピンをせずに走るっていうのはすごく難しいと思うんですが、杉田選手1本目スコアが入ります。He's going to get a score for his first run. Not going to say that that was, exciting. Very shallow on the angle towards the end of the track from 3 to 4 as well. Barely making it through the finish line. But, he's going for, putting a score on the board for the first run because, like I said, there's only a few cars that didn't get a score. さあ、杉田選手の1本目、72ポイントです。The 72 from Sugita, his first run.
You can see some of the spectators out here fighting this rain.
さあ続いての、ドライバースタート地点にも待機しています。ゼッケン200番、二川隆選手 R&T Factory Z20 ソマラ。僕は旧車好きなんでかっこいいです。
Exactly. Another classic car right here, bringing it up into this 321. Futagawa coming around into this outer zone 1. He's been picking it up so far this year. Let's see how he's going to do carrying it around into this outer zone 2. Taking a little bit of angle away through that zone. But yeah, overall looks like he's having a pretty safe run. A little bit of wavering here and there, but not too bad at all by Futagawa.
ちょっと角度は安定、安全しすぎと言えばいいのかな走行ですが、とりあえず得点を入れるためにもちろんね各チームドライバー作戦があると思うので、ここもですねラインをなんとかアウトに持っていこうとしていますが、角度的には浅いかなというところ、そしてまあ振り返しのところでもねダイナミックというかスムーズに、走っていきましたが、やはり、安全面を考えてスピンなど戻らないように1本まとめた感じがしました。さあ二川選手1本目73ポイント。That's a 73 for Futagawa's first run, keeping the lines a little tight but low angle, but getting a score. That's really important. Now there's 9 drivers with scores. さあ続いてのドライバーゼッケン220、石塚真一選手。Auto Garage S Cleve Sunoco Wisteria 1本目です。
Yeah, Ishizuka's going to do. We talked about him last year. His car was pretty much stock, full interior. This year he took some of his interior out, trying to step his game up here into this outer zone 1. Hitting that limiter, bringing it back around into this outer zone 2 here. Let's see how aggressive he's going to be through the transition from outer zone 2 to this, outer zone 3. Unfortunately, not able to kick it back out to that zone.
今のはリプレイで確認しないといけないですが、振り返しで振り返せてない、感じがしますが、もう一回見てみましょう。Let's go ahead and check out that transition one more time. Just want to double check. Does a good job at the initiation. Kicks out the car. Builds outside zone 1 on the rev limiter, but you know what? It's wet, so it's cool. Going a little too wide at outside zone 2. That's 2 tires off. But right there, not being able to bring the car back to drift after the outside zone 1 at the transition. でこのね、アウトゾーン2にあるゼブラ、2走になってますが、2走目はコースアウト、1走目はコースない、という形になるので、見ている方もこれでちょっと見てもらいたいなと思います。Looking at outside zone 2, you saw the 2 layers of the rumble strips, right? とりあえず石塚選手の1本目は、ノーポイントとなってしまいました。It's incomplete for Ishizuka's first run. So there's 2 stacks of rumble strips. The second one on the outside, not the track side, is off course. So it's not that we let the drivers go out where Ishizuka had 2 tires on the outside one. That's actually off course. さあ続いてのドライバーゼッケン2番ラバー博士 AMC Racing.
And here we are, Dr. Rubber piloting a different car. He's usually in a white S14, but here he is today in a 180SX.
そうですね、車が今回違いますね。今回は180、いつもは一応なのかな。
So we're going to see how he does this time around in a different vehicle, bringing it into that outer zone 1. Not too bad through that zone. Nice control. Approaching this outer zone 2. Nice shot through that outer zone 3 there. And overall, not bad at all with the wavering and everything throughout the course and able to manipulate the car into those zones.
ちょっと最後の方角度を立てていってしまいましたが、もちろんね失敗をするよりかはスコアを入れていかなきゃいけない部分はありますが、全体的には浅めではありますが、なんとかラインはトレースしていっているみたいですね。Looks like he's on actually a good line, even though he's a little shallow and a little late getting into the outside zone 3 area, and had to actually correct his angle towards the end at the outside zone 4, but overall is going to get a score. まあ全体的にねまとめてきた走り。もちろんこの雨、さっき白煙が出たり今回は白煙が出ないような走りだったんですが、このね路面コンディションが変わっていく中でとりあえずスコアを入れていかなきゃいけないような走りだったと思います。 さあ1本目ラバー博士73ポイント That's Dr. Rubber's first run. It's a 73. You know, a lot of these guys are taking a safe, but I don't blame them because earlier we saw smoke. Now we don't see any smoke, so it's probably wet again.
And here we are. We're about to approach our top 10 drivers. At the line, ready to go is number 168, Masayomi Noah in the Heyman JZX100 Mark II.
さあ箕輪選手、1本目ですね。ここからベスト10の、ランキングのドライバーの、走行となります。今回エンジンをパワーアップしてきたという箕輪選手。Got a new motor in it. See how she's going to handle this track.
Here she is, leaving outer zone 1 right there. Not the best conditions to show the full potential of the new engine swap, but she did a good job through that outer zone 2. A little bit of an adjustment, approaching that outer zone 3 and getting right back on it through the outer zone 4 to the finish.
さあ全体的に、まとめてきた走り、ちょっと、アウトゾーン3に向かっていく姿勢が、大事を取りすぎたのかなという部分、1本、タイヤ1本アウトなのか、ラインのスコアがどんな感じになるのか分かりませんが、アングル的には振り返しの、アウトゾーン3に向かっていくところ、もうちょっと角度を最初からつけてほしいところ、全体的にまとめた走り、箕輪選手、これでスコアは、確実に入っていると思います。アウトもね、アウト2はいっぱいいっぱい、アウト3でもちょっとアウト3入っていく部分、遅めだったんですが、なんとかコース幅全体使い切った走りだと思います。さあ箕輪選手1本目79ポイント That's a 79 by Minoa her first run 80付近取れればちょっと安心かなという気分ですが Getting closer to an 80 is probably the safe zone here as what we see.
Well, we'll see what this next driver at the line is going to do. Here he is, number 78, Kazuma Ikemoto in the Progress Project Mu Motis S14.
さあ去年、ここでね予選トップ通過だった、池本選手 qualifying first last year here. Let's see if he likes this track or not. The condition might be a little different. A little shallow at outside zone 1. ちょっとアウトゾーン1浅め。
Let's see how that's going to place him the rest of the track, bringing it back around into this outer zone 3.
Oh, でも
and overshooting that outer zone 4 through the finish.
いやーちょっとアウトゾーン3から4に行くところ浅めで速度出てるなと思っていたんですが、結局思ってた通りコースアウトしてしまいました。Going to outside zone 3 to 4, he looked like he was catching good speed and not as deep an angle. And I was kind of expecting this going off course because he was going a little too hot into outside zone 4. このね3から4に行くところこのウェット、の路面でのその速度調整すごく難しそうです。I know it's probably super hard to adjust your speed going from outside zone 3 to 4, especially in this weather. Exactly. You can't really use your angle as much.
And at the same time, the angle of the track, it's pushing them down. So the more momentum they carry into outer zone 3, it carries a lot harder because of the way the track is set up.
ということで池本選手残念ながら1本目、ノーポイント。So that's an incomplete from Ikemoto's first run. Going from top qualifier last year, now getting incomplete. Anything could happen this weekend. 今週末ね、前回トップ通過だったのに今回1本目、ノーポイントという何が起こってもおかしくないような、内容になってます。
Yeah, it looks like the next driver's at the line, ready to go and make it happen. And this is a very aggressive driver coming up.
こちらもすごくアグレッシブなドライバー今スタートについています。ゼッケン34番斉藤翔選手、プロジェクトサツ Team SHS。
Sho Saito currently sitting 8th overall in points.
現在、スティーズランキングは8位。
Here he is. Like I said, very aggressive right there through the 3-2-1. Nice job bringing it out to this outer zone 1. Not bad through that zone. Here he is bringing it into this outer zone 2 here. Not bad at all. Slow transition, but making it happen into this outer zone 4.
ここら辺すごく、綺麗にまとめていきたいと思います。It looks like, he kind of knew what was going on, and it was a very safe, subtle run, but he he was under control the whole time. すべてちょっとコントロール下に置いている感じの走り方だったんで、安心して見られたような感じかなと思いますが、コース内に車両を収め、ちょっと角度は浅めだったんですが、まあ、全体的に待つ時間よりアクセル踏んでる時間の方がちょっと多い気がしました。ちょっと、この路面コンディションでも元気がある方の走りなのかなと思います。So, being able to, get on throttle as quickly as possible, it looks like, it's a lot more exciting. So I'd have to say, under this condition, it's actually not so bad. A little bit more on the exciting side on his first run.
Exactly.
さあ、斉藤選手1本目、80ポイント。That's an 80 from Saito, leading the qualify here for the first run with Otomo. Otomo got an 80, and now Saito got an 80. さあ、斉藤選手、小松レーシングの大友隆一選手に並び80ポイントを叩き出しました。FD すごということで、すごあれはすごいのすごなのか、すごサーキットのすごなのか、すごい means like wow, exciting, like cool. And the name here is Sugo. I didn't know if that was a Sugo or the cool Sugo. But let's go ahead and check out the next driver. 続いてのドライバー、ゼッケン13番、中村マイキー選手、マイキーレーシング with 南米。さあ、後でね、スゴーさんの方に、すごいスゴーなのか、スゴーのスゴーなのか聞いてみたいと思いますが、I'm going to have to ask the track them about that later.
Exactly. Mikey here going for his first qualified run. Podium at first round at Suzuka Twin. Here he is bringing it into this outer zone 1. Nice job there, swinging it into this outer zone 2, hanging on through that rumble strip, just a little bit of a waver through that zone, and here he is. Let's see the strong finish through that outer zone 4, a little bit more of a waver, but just hanging on into that finish.
ちょっと不安定、またね、さっきの路面よりちょっと乾いてきているのが白煙が出ていることでちょっと確認できますが、難しい路面をなんとか、ちょっと浅めではありますが、あまりリスクを背負わないでなんとかスコアを取る、ような走り、ちょっとフラフラしているアウトゾーン4でもちょっと縦気味になってしまいましたが、一応走り切ってスコアは取れているようです。中村マイキー選手、so Mikey from Mikey Racing, not the cleanest run, but I would say the track condition just changes because we could see, some smoke coming out of his rear tires. So I know it's blotzy out there, it's wet and dry, but he still gets a 79. それでも、中村選手1本目79ポイント、なかなかのスコア。
Yeah, it looks like it's starting to clear up. The mist has gone away, so we're going to see how these drivers are going to adjust themselves to the new conditions of the track.
さあ、この新しいコンディションにどう対応していくか、なんか乾いてきているような予感。It does look like it's drying up. さあ、続いてのドライバーどう対応するか、ゼッケン115。浜ちゃんこと浜田清美選手、GH Racing。さあ、浜ちゃん、a veteran here. Let's see how he's going to handle this track, tricky track conditions.
There you go. You can see the smoke trail leaving that 3-2-1 all the way through outer zone 1, and it looks like the conditions are getting real tricky for these drivers, but he's handling it very well through that outer zone 3. Let's see the strong finish through outer zone 4. Nice job by Hamada.
さあ、やはりね、もうドライと見切って走った、感じがしました。そしてその中でも、成功した部類だと思います。ちょっとね、ぬるっとしているような部分はなさそうですが、車のコントロール、すべてドライバーの支配下にある感じです。すごい路面が乾くの早いですね。こちらちゃんとねコースいっぱいに車両を持っていきます。浜田選手なかなかのスコアが期待できると思いますが、looks like it's going to be a fairly well score. He brings the car all the way to the outside. Does okay on the angles throughout the track, and he just saw the track as being just dry, and I would have to say this track is drying up real fast.
It really is, and he did a phenomenal job. Very aggressive, very exciting. We're going to see what the judges are going to give him for his first qualify run. See a lot of 80s on the chat. I have been tuning into the chat. I see the game you guys are playing too. It's pretty hilarious. But we're going to see what the score is. Could this be the top score for the first portion of qualify? And there it is right there, 83 for Hamada.
さあ浜田選手1本目83ポイント。これで80ポイントを取っていた大友選手、そして斉藤選手を抜いた現在予選トップのスコア83ポイントです。さあこの変わっていくコースコンディション、どう選手たちが対応していくのか。 That's really the key here. See how the drivers are going to be handling the track conditions that's been changing, I mean within the minutes. さあ続いてのドライバーも期待していきたいドライバー、ゼッケン514野村圭一選手 from Team Kyushu Uras with Cusco.
Exactly. Right now, sitting in 5th overall in points at a 104, and there's only a 1-point difference between each driver moving up to the second place person. Here he is coming around the 3-2-1 into this outer zone 1. So qualifying high is very important for him moving on in this point standing. And here he is bringing it around into this outer zone 2. Nice job through that zone. Wrapping it back around. Here he is finishing strong through outer zone 4.
ちょっともしかしたら食いすぎちゃったのか、角度的には全体的に浅めかなというところですが、ラインはアウトまで取っているので、こちらアウトゾーン1、2ですね。ちょっとそこで、ラインアングルの方でもね少し振られてしまったので減点ありますが、アウトゾーン3、4、なかなかの、走りをしていったと思いますので、全体的にスコアはもちろん入ってます。ちょっとねアウトゾーン3でもタイヤ逸脱してしまいましたが、そこはライン減点、全体的にスタイルの得点どんな得点になるのか。 Not gonna say he had a lot of angle through outside zone 1 and 2, did a fairly good job at 3 and 4, dipped a tire here and there, and not as exciting to see, but I would have to say that's a fairly good score here because he did put it together.
Yes, but beautiful car for sure.
Yes. 車も、
Very
かっこいいです。綺麗な、車両。結構ね、LINE でもオンラインでも人気があるんですが、ちょっと、スコア的には72ポイント、野村選手1本目72ポイントです。もうちょっと、ドライなりの走りをしていただきたいと思いますが、とりあえず70点台に入ってきました。72、from Nomura's first run。さあ続いてのドライバー、ゼッケン131龍馬選手 from Samurai Style Racing、 サムライスタイルレーシングから龍馬選手、こちら大きい車体のアリスト、big body four-door Aristo here.
Let's see how Ryuma's going to do sitting at a 105 overall. He got second at Ebisu Circuit. Let's see how he's going to do for his first qualify run. Leaving the 3-2-1 now into this outer zone 1. Nice handling through that zone, filling that zone, bringing it back around. A lot of popping from him into this outer zone 2. Could have been a little deeper through that zone. Oh, and dipping 2 tires through that outer zone 3 there, but just hanging on into the finish.
さあ、ちょっとコース幅足りないからコースアウト少し2本離脱しちゃったのかなという感じですが、全体的にダイナミック、コース幅を大きく使う、角度もまずまずなんですが、危うくアウトゾーン3も3脱になるところでしたが、なんとか2脱だけで済んだと思います。Looking at the track, he uses the track very wide, but I wouldn't say he's throwing a lot of angle. Not as hard as some of the other drivers that I've seen, but at the same time, goes 2 tires off at outside zone 3. Let's see how that's going to affect his score.
There you go, 75 for his first qualify run.
さあ今の走行得点が75ポイント、龍馬選手1本目ですね、75ポイントです。さあ続いてのドライバーです。ゼッケン104水野俊彦選手 Blast Luck M&Y ガレドリ with 鷲倉温泉。さあ前回優勝、 last event he was
yes, number 1.
the winner, right?
Yeah, he won last round at Ebisu. Let's see if he can carry it forward into this round, round 3 here at Sugo. Here he is bringing it around, real aggressive right there before the 3-cone. Able to hang on to it, but not able to get all the way out to that outer zone 1. Throwing him offline here. Dipping 2 tires through that outer zone 2, bringing it back around to the outer zone 3. Can he hang on to it into this outer zone 4? Not able to get all the way out to that outer zone.
角度はついているんですが、ちょっとラインが取れていない、感じですね。ちょっと食いすぎて外まで行かなかったのか、アウトゾーン1結構開いてしまいました。アウトゾーン2ちょっと1脱 アウトゾーン3も1奪で、アウトゾーン4に関してもちょっと寄り切れない。Yeah, I'd say, coming very short on outside zone 1, dipping a tire in outside zone 2 and 3, and coming short on outside zone 4. He's doing everything that the line judge doesn't want you to do on the track right now. I mean, he's kicking angle, obviously, but you have to kick the angle at the right place, or, you're not going to get a higher score for the qualify. やはりね、ライン、ちょっと厳しいかもしれない。ちょっと低めですね。水野選手1本目68ポイント。That's a 68 for Mizuno's first run. And it's obvious right there, it's an 18 for the line, so he's going to have to tighten up that line. ラインの方もうちょっと頑張って、走ってもらわないと、今のね、ライン得点18ポイントだったんで、もっともっと上をいけるチャンス十分あります、2本目。さあ、こちら、横浜タイヤのワンメイクタイヤ AD09 ですね。前者、もう、グリップがいい悪いないです。みんな同じタイヤなんで。ということで、なんと、駆動系トラブルで、現在シリーズランキング2位のゼッケン888ジャマケン選手 from Laudada Company with freestyle 1本目走らないということです。He's going to cancel his first run. Car number 888 Jamaken, currently second in the series.
Yeah, he's sitting at a 107 right now.
107. He has drivetrain issues and he's not going to make a run. Wow, it's gonna make things interesting because it's all gonna be on his second run.
Exactly.
2本目に、委ねなきゃいけないのでちょっとどうなっていくか見ていきたいと思いますが、現在シリーズランキングトップである、ドライバー与座ハリー選手 Harry's Auto with Big Kit Blocks Japan、このね1本目最後の、ドライバーゼッケン43番与座選手、現在シリーズランキング1位、そしてちょっと独走気味なのかな、131ポイントで。
So here's Harry Yoza sitting at 131 points overall in the series. Bringing it around here through that outer zone 1. Could have been a little deeper through that zone, but bringing it into this outer zone 2. Trying to stretch it all the way up, unable to get there, but able to get outer zone 3.
ちょっとこちらもコースいっぱい使うために食いすぎているのか、角度があまりついていない感じがしますが、なんかギアが足りなくなってきているような、気がしますが、なんとか調整をしながら與座選手1本目走り切りました。そしてもうほぼねドライと言っていいでしょう。コース上、白煙が出てきていますが、1本目角度がそんなにありませんが、ラインいっぱい、使おうとしているのが、分かります。ということで、あとはその振り出し振り返しのね、ちょっと振り返すアウトゾーン2から3に行くところは元気がないかなというところ。Out zone, going from outer zone 3, 2 to 3 doesn't look like his switchback was very dynamic, but getting a score on the board is important. さあ、与座ハリー選手1本目73ポイントです。ということで、全選手1本目走り切りましたが、We saw all the driving for the first qualifying runs, and we're going to go into the second qualifying run here at Sportsland Sugo at round 3 FDJ2. さあ FDJ2 のねラウンド3、このスポーツランドSugo2本目、見ていきたいと思いますが、全車1本目走り切りました。So what do you think about the first runs?
It's pretty interesting because the track conditions changed about halfway through. So I'm seeing the excitement. These last few drivers that we've seen, it dried up. So we got to see the excitement of what the track and the potential it has for these drivers.
ということでね、1本目はコース上の、コンディションが変わっていきましたが、2本目どんな感じになるのか、その前にですね、10分ほど、休憩を入れますので、皆さん、少々お待ちください。So we're going to go into a 10-minute break here, going into the second qualifying run. So let's see how the track condition changes in the I'm sorry, I keep saying outside zone. Qualifying 2. So we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
フォーミュラドリフトは3人の審査員によって審査が行われる。各審査員は走行ラインをチェックするラインジャッジ、ドリフトアングルをチェックするアングルジャッジ、そして走りを統括的にチェックするスタイルジャッジが担当する。ラインジャッジ、アングルジャッジの審査のため、コースには4から5箇所の審査ポイントが設定されている。設定されているのは主にコーナークリップ付近、ポイントとゾーン、コースによってはタッチ&ゴーがあり、この4から5箇所の審査ポイントでマシンの挙動がチェックされる。ラインとアングルジャッジは審査のポイント、 1箇所につき最高5点または10点。審査ポイントは全部で4から5箇所、最高30点がドライバーに与えられる。もう一つがスタイルジャッジ。スタイルジャッジは主に走行中の車全体の流れをチェックする。このスタイルジャッジでは最高40点が与えられる。すべての点数を合計すると最高100点。ドライバーたちはこの100点を目指しチャレンジするのだ。さて、審査基準は次の通りである。ラインジャッジでは審査ポイントで確実にクリップについているかが重要。クリップから離れていくに従い得点は下がってしまう。アングルジャッジはクリップでのドリフトアングルが審査の対象。当然アングル、角度が大きいほど得点は高くなるが、戻ってしまったり不安定な場合は減点の対象となる。そしてスタイルジャッジ、スピード、スムーズさ、迫力、またドライビングから感じられるコミットメント、パッションもスタイルジャッジにおいて重要な要素である。審査では車の不必要な挙動、ブレやふらつき、メリハリのない走行などが減点の対象となる。またスタート時のエンジンストップ、フライングやパイロンタッチ計3回。審査コーナーでのスピンは即座に0点。コースからはみ出した場合は減点または0点の場合もある。ステアリングの角度が0度になるようなアンダーステアも含め、審査員の判断で0点になる。
そこが知りたい FDJ ということでですね、スタートの、フライングだったりいろいろルールのことを少し説明していきたいと思っていますが、 FDJ のね名スターターである、黒田さん、通称クロちゃんにちょっとスタートのね、手をいろいろ説明してもらいたいなと思います。お願いします。
お願いします。
こちらにあるこのスターターのライト、クロちゃんちょっと、どういうふうに説明してもらっていいですか。
セットした後にここのキックスイッチを押しますと、12345 5カウントブラックアウト、これでスタートになります。
ということで、先行の車両はこのライトが全部ブラックアウトになった瞬間、すぐにスタートしなきゃいけないんですよね。
はい。
後追いの車ってこのライトは
後追いに関しては、シグナルは関係ないです。フライングしても構いません。
後ろの車は自分がうまく、前の車についていけるようなタイミングで出れるということですね。
そうですね。
ブラックアウトをして1カウント2カウントぐらい進まなかった場合、それかブラックアウトを完全にする前に、車体が前に出てしまいますと、一応フライングという形で、1カウントというですね。
1カウントです。
あともう一つ、このスタートの、おなじみの試験員なんですけど、このパイロンも、跳ねちゃったり触っちゃったりすると、その1カウントに入るんですよね。
はい、1カウントです。
で、何回そういう失敗をしたら
3回で失格です。
3回目で失格ですね。
フライングなりパイロンタッチした場合は、ストレートの先にあるリスタートシグナルというのを点灯させてドライバーに知らせます。
FDJ のこのスターターとしてずっと、クロちゃん、長くやってるんですけど、やっぱり未だにやっぱりスタートする前とかって緊張しますか。
やはりね、なるべくならリスタートはさせたくない、でそれもしっかりと採点しなくちゃいけない、こちらも緊張感もありますし、選手の緊張感も伝わってきます。
ということで、スターターの僕側の話もちょっと取れたんですが、このスターターが、どういうふうに車をスタートさせて、やっていくかというのを皆さんもちょっと、分かっていただければ、もうちょっと楽しく、FDJ の方をやっていただけるのかなと思います。ということで、ここスターターから、中継でお伝えしました。
ultimate lubricant. Mortis.
What's up, guys? It's Frederick Alspo, and I use RSR suspension on all my drift cars. I love RSR. Iyo RSR Ichiban.
Made in Japan. Breed.
フォーミュラードリフトジャパン。
Quick break right there, but here we are back for the second portion of Qualify for round 3 of the 2023 Yokohama Tire Presents Formula Drift Japan FDJ2 series here at the Sportsland Sugo in the Miyagi Prefecture.
さあ10分ほどの休憩が入りましたが、2023年横浜タイヤプレゼンツフォーミュラドリフトジャパン FDJ2 ラウンド3スポーツランドスゴーのこの予選2本目ですね、2走目が始まろうとしていますが、路面が変わらないようにと思っていたんですが、ちょっと待っている間に少し小雨みたいなのが降ってきましたが、それもまた止みました。まあ山の天気なんでね、どういう風に変わっていくのか分かりませんが、I mean, we are high up in the mountains. And, you know, the weather up in the mountains are going to change all the time, so who knows?
Exactly. And what I got to say right now, Kiyofumi Hamada right now sitting in top at 83 for his first qualified run. We're going to see who's going to punch him off the top and get the top score.
そうなんです。浜田選手が現在83ポイントで予選1番の座にいますが、この2走目で誰がその80ポイントを超えてくるか、浜田選手をね、この1位の座から1位の座を奪い取るのか、ちょっと楽しみなんですが、まあ予選の1本目と同様、多分ずっとねこんな天気だと思うので、そのねスポッターとドライバーとの連携、どんなコースコンディションなのかっていうのがねすごく重要になってきます。I know the second qualifying runs are going to be similar to the first weather-wise, so it really depends on the drivability of the drivers and also the spotters telling them where to do what and what not to do. さあということで2本目、1本目ちょっとノーポイントだったゼッケン222田島雄一選手からスタートです。 Dear Motorsports and Junction。 さあ2本目は絶対得点入れていきたい。現在70点台に入っているドライバーから上が、16名いるので、その70点何ポイントになるのかも、重要になってきます。
All right, here we are. He had an incomplete on his first qualified run, losing it right from the start, entering that outer zone 1, but looks like he's going to make it through that outer zone 1 right there, into the rumble strip, bringing it back around into this outer zone 2. Could have been a little deeper, but made it through, dipping a tire right there through outer zone 3, wavering. We'll have to see how that approach was.
なんとか、走り抜いたんですが、アウトゾーンやはりね2から3に行く、3から4に行く部分ですね、ちょっとフラフラ、していった感じがしますが、ラインももうちょっと、余っている感じ。アウトゾーン3でも1脱、ちょっとね2から3に行く体勢崩しそうになりましたが、なんとかスコアは入る、模様です。ということでね、FD すごい、67ポイント、さっきね計算したところ、田島選手67ポイント、that's a 67 from Toshima. Earlier I looked at the top 16 scores. You have to be in the 70s to make it into the top 16.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate right there.
70ポイント台に入っていないとベスト16はちょっと絶望的なので、田島選手もしかしたら今回は予選敗退になってしまうかもしれませんが、続いてのドライバーです。1本目63ポイントを取っているゼッケン333田辺海人選手、 Dear Motorsports Junction。 こちらもスコアをなんとか上げないと、予選が難しくなってしまいます。 It's going to be hard trying to make it into the top 16 with the 63. Let's see if he can up the score here.
Ooh, huge struggle through that 3-2-1 to initiate the car. unable to get into drift after that one cone, which is going to be an incomplete for him. 63, like Robbie said, is not going to be enough to fight into that top 16.
これはウェットだと思って進入したらドライになっていた。進入後の1回の戻り、これは、ポイントになりません。残念ながら田辺選手の2本目もこのイニシエーションの後ですね、ここで1回車をまっすぐ進めてしまったので、321コーンを過ぎてからもちろん、ちょっと遅れるドライバーも大幅減点なんですが、もちろんね321、1回イニシエーションした後に戻ってしまいますと1回ドリフトをやめてしまうことになってしまうので、この田辺選手の2本目は残念ながらノーポイントとなってしまいます。That's going to be an incomplete. Obviously, if you're late in initiation, I understand you're going to get a big deduction, but initiating once and straightening means you stopped once, so that's going to be an incomplete. And there you go. You can see Sugo put together that FDJ mark on their lawn for us to see from the drone. さあ、続いてのドライバーゼッケン551岩崎沙織選手 from Team Saudi with low motif。1本目ノーポイントなのでなんとかスコアを取りたい。
We'll have to see here. This is the next three drivers on incompletes coming around right now. Iwasaki getting through that outer zone 1. Could have been a little deeper through that zone. And you can see how she's trying up, throwing a smoke cloud right behind her. Oh! Unable to keep that transition from outer zone 2 to outer zone 3 and just gripping up and straightening.
このままいったらスコアが入っていたんだろうけどアウトゾーン2で過ぎたあたりからちょっと何か異変があったのか。Is there a problem after she passes outside zone 2? She'd have went. That would have been a score there because she did okay at outside zone 1. Going into outside zone 2 came a little short. But right here after she passes outside zone 2, then kind of lets off. アウトゾーンに、行くまでの間1から2に行くところちょっと、車を伸ばす方向で行きましたがアウトゾーンに過ぎたあたり少し、躊躇しながらアクセルを戻した感じです。ということで残念ながら岩崎選手もここで2本のポイント That's 2 incomplete by Iwasaki. Unfortunate, that's going to be the end of her weekend.
Next next to the line is number 66 Ryuma Okada in the K's Racing S14. He's got an incomplete right now. We're going to see how he is going to do on his second qualify run.
さあこちらも、岡田龍馬選手1本目のポイントなので2本目なんとかスコアを入れたい。ちょっとストレートでも踏んでないかな。
Oh, huge straightening right there, leaving that 3-2-1, approaching the outer zone 1, unfortunately straightening, giving him his second incomplete. This is not his weekend.
岡田選手も、1本目2本目続きノーポイントとなってしまいましたのでここで予選敗退となってしまいました。That is it for Okada's weekend. Huge correction after the initiation. Car straightens. And pretty much that's it. We do that because it's actually an unchaseable lead too when you're straightening. So there's multiple reasons why we do incomplete these cars. But yeah, if you're all over the track, it's most likely going to be an incomplete. ということで、ね、ノーポイントというのはね戻ったから、がもちろんそうなんですがもし、後ろから車が来ていたらその後ろでドリフトできない状態で、前の車が走っていますと、ノーポイントとなる、こともあります。Okada選手 no point. That's an incomplete from Okada. Let's go ahead and check out this next driver. Also sitting on an incomplete. 続いてのドライバーも1本目ノーポイントなので2本目頑張ってほしい。ゼッケン767ラーマン・ラッセル選手 RS 渡辺ガリドリカイ By Now Japan.
That's a lot of pressure entering or starting your second qualify run on an incomplete. Here he is coming around, taking a different approach to the outer zone 1. Oh! Not able to keep it in drift and drag it all the way out to that zone. Very unfortunate for
Rama. ラーマン選手残念ながら2本目もノーポイントとなってしまいました。It's an incomplete from Rahman's second run. There's probably no explanation needed. He pretty much had to reinitiate at the outside zone 1 area. I mean, the rest of the track, if he didn't have that mistake, he would have had a score in. But it's very unfortunate. いや残念ながらねアウトゾーン1での、失敗がなければスコアはちゃんと入っていたんですが、今回、予選敗退となってしまいました。ラーマン・ラッセル選手残念。 さあこちらドローン、の映像ですね。ヘリパッドがあります。そしてその隣にあるこの芝生のところ FDJ と、掘ってありますが、横から見るとこんな感じですね。これがなんか塗ってあるのかな？ Looks like it's painted or something.
We'll have to take a walk over there later
そうですね、
on.
後で見に行ってみたいと思いますが、さあ続いてのドライバー1本目、ポイント入ってるんですがちょっと足りない、ゼッケン215高田健選手 from Garage Takata with Auto Shop Y なんとか、2本目ポイントを上げていきたいところ。
Yeah, Takata not sitting safe with a 59. Here he is approaching the 3-2-1. Hopefully prepared for the dry conditions that he's facing on this track. Taking a little bit of angle right there away on that outer zone 1, but trying to make it all the way out. And there you go, all the way out to that outer zone 2, tipping 2 tires right there through outer zone 3. Became a lot more aggressive than his first qualifier run, so it should bump him up, but is it going to be enough to push him into that top 16?
ちょっと勢いと、角度が足りない感じがしましたが、もうちょっとドライなりにダイナミックに走れたんではないかと思いますが、高田選手、タイヤが出てしまったりとかですね、ありますが、なんとか2本目もスコアを、入れてきました。やはりね、この路面コンディションを読み取るのがすごく、この山の天気だと難しくなっていきますが、I think in the mountains especially it's really hard to determine what kind of track condition it is. And that's pretty much all I've been talking about. さあ大きく上げてきましたゼッケン、215高田健選手、1本目は59ポイント、2本目は67ポイント。That's a 67 from Takata's second run. But like I said, if you're not in the 70s,
It's not safe.
most likely it's not going to be looking good. やはりね、70ポイント台に入ってこないとちょっと難しくなってくると思います。さあ続いてのドライバーです。ゼッケン、117、稲岡祐希選手 Junction in Deere Motorsports.
Got a 76 on his first qualifier run. Let's see how this second one goes. This is one of the runs that we talked about. It was real clean, no wavering. Looks like a little bit more aggressive through that outer zone 1, right on the rumble strip, bringing it back around to the rumble strip on outer zone 2. Nice job, nice flick through that outer zone 3. Yeah, this might be enough to bump that 76-point first qualifier run.
ここでアウトゾーン2から3に行くところ、多分ね、今日一ダイナミックな振り返しをしていったんじゃないかと思います、稲岡選手。そしてアウトゾーン1、2の角度はすごいいっぱいあるわけではないんですが、ここアウトゾーン3狙っていきました。ちょっと角度をね、足して減らす感じになってしまいましたが、全体的にはスコアがもちろん入ります。
All right, we'll see right here what the score is going to be.
さあ、さっきの76を超えてくるのか。Is he going to get a higher score than a 76, which he got for his first run? さあ、おっ、来ま
81.
した、上がってきました。That's81。稲岡選手は81ポイントです。ポイント上げてきましたね。やはりね、ああいう感じの走りってどういうふうに説明すればいいか分かんないんですが、見てる方々も多分分かると思いますが、ダイナミックな振り返しも多分聞いたと思います。さあ続いてのドライバー、ゼッケン350鈴木一正選手 APG Japan Karzoo Racing. So looking at Inaoka's first run or second run, you saw how aggressive it looked.
Oh, yeah,
That
so much
kind of
more
shine,
aggressive.
That's why he got an 81.
I love the fluidity that he carried from his first run to the second run. But here we are, Suzuki sitting on an incomplete.
Let's see what he can do.
And here he is. Oh, overshooting outer zone 1 right there. Bringing it back around. Unfortunately, shooting 3 tires off in outer zone 1.
でもね、最後でおーっとなんと逆振りスピンだ。Spun out after the finish line going the other way actually. ちょっと、力みすぎちゃったのか、アウトゾーン1でアグレッシブにアウトを狙っていきましたが、こちらでも確認できる通り、ここでタイヤ3脱ですね。 これだともうコース内に車が収まってないので、この時点でノーポイントとなってしまいました。残念ながら鈴木選手2本ともノーポイント。 That's 2 incompletes from Suzuki. I mean, I like the way he was aggressive at outside zone 1, but after the finish line it all just kind of fell apart.
Yeah, it was a nice save by him, but man, those cones, those finish line cones are taking a beating today.
Yeah, it is. さあ鈴木選手2本ともノーポイントなので、残念ながら今回予選は敗退となってしまいます。That's going to be 2 incompletes, and that's it for Suzuki's weekend here. さあ続いてのドライバーゼッケン235、後藤光信選手、Team Tetsujin with Lavka。こちらも1本目ノーポイント。He also has an incomplete for his first qualifying run. Needs to get a score, especially a score that's over in the 70s, above the 70s.
Exactly. Here he is coming around in his JZX 100 Mark II. Bringing it into this outer zone 1 here. Oh, real deep. Oh, dipping 3 tires right there, just like Suzuki did before. And just struggling throughout that track with the transition from that outer zone 1, or the carry on through the outer zone 1 to outer zone 2.
いやー、アウトゾーン1以外では、なんとかねスコアが取れる走りだったんですが、1ちょっと振り出しが奥気味になってしまったのか、ファンと角度につけないがためにアウトゾーン1流されて、アウトゾーン13本、出てしまいました。その後ねアウトゾーン2に向かっていくところ、姿勢を戻し、まっすぐ走ってしまいましたので、こちら後藤選手も残念ながら2本ともノーポイント。Running straight after the outside zone 1, initiating a little late, making it 3 tires off at outside zone 1. That's official. Goto, that's 2 incompletes in a row, and that's it for his weekend as well.
All right, we'll see how this next driver pulling up to the line right now, sitting on an incomplete himself, number 16, Kota Watanabe in the AXYMR Racing with props S15.
さあこちら、1本目ノーポイント。なんとかねギリギリのところで2本目なんとかスコアを入れなきゃいけない渡辺康太選手。
Leaving the chicane now, approaching this 3-2-1. Has some pressure on him. Here he is bringing it into this outer zone 1 early there. Taken away from his angle through that zone, but trying to carry it through to the outside of that outer zone 2. Slow on the transition through outer zone 3. We're going to see how he's going to do here in the finish.
ちょっと浅めだけどスコアは入る。Very shallow on the angle, but let's see how he does on the rest of the track, excluding the angle portion of it. He does definitely get a score. Very shallow coming from outside zone 1 to 2. Kicks out a little bit more angle at outside zone 2, but doesn't do a hard flick going outside zone 3. Very safe, in my opinion, even though it's drying up a lot. And I know a lot of these drivers are probably traumatized because of the way the track was earlier. まあこのね路面コンディション今は結構ドライになっているんですが、先ほど走ったドライバーはちょっとやっぱり恐怖心があるんじゃないかなと思います。
Yeah, this course is definitely one that you have to have a lot of commitment, especially coming the uphill in the outer zone 1. There you go, 71 for his first qualify, or not first, but his actual first pointed qualify run.
ちょっと渡辺選手71ポイント足りるか足りないかわからないギリギリの、場所にいるかもしれません。さあ71ポイントでした。That's 71. He's probably on the bubble. I'm not sure. さあ続いてのドライバーは、1本目でも75ポイントを取っているゼッケン11番サムルーカス選手 Samit already has 75 for his first run, but it's never safe, never too safe.
Exactly.
So how he's going to do on second run.
We're going to see how he's going to turn up this time. Here he is coming around real aggressive through that 3-2-1 into this outer zone 1. Little shallow in that zone, bringing it back around to the outer zone 2, throwing some smoke this time around. And you can see how the track's drying up, dipping 2 tires there, finishing real strong through outer zone 4. Nice job through that second half of that track.
さあちょっと1のアウトまで届かなかったんですが、踏みっぷりは良かったかなと思います。角度もね全体的についてる部分とついてない部分、大きく分かれていきましたが、全体的にまとめていったのかなというところです。ちょっとアウトゾーン1、うまくトレースできなかったんですが、アクセル回路は長い方だと思います。これを見るとね全体的にもう完璧にドライになってるんではないかと思いますが、 やはりアウトゾーン1から2に行く姿勢がアウトゾーン1、アウトいっぱいまで行けなかった部分、ちょっと苦しかったのかなと思います。Not being able to fill outside zone 1 made it look awkward going to outside zone 2. But here we go. That's a 72 for Sam Lucas for second run. サム・ルーカス選手2本目72ポイント、ちょっと、スコア伸ばしきれなかったんですが、現在75ポイントを取っているので、そのスコアでベスト16取れるか。So he's banking on a 75, so let's see if that's going to be enough for him to fit into the top 16. 続いてのドライバーゼッケン144ダニエル・メスマー選手 The Sideways Experience。 こちらも残念ながら1本目、ノーポイントなので2本目なんとかポイントは絶対入れたい。
Yeah, we're going to see how Mesmer's going to adjust himself because he overshot outer zone 1, dipped in 3 tires, given an incomplete, but overall had a nice run after the outer zone 1. And here he is. Nice job adjusting, getting right into that zone, touching it into this outer zone 2 this time. Oh, getting real deep, but saving himself, swinging it back around through outer zone 3. And just throwing smoke to the finish.
さあ今のもね角度はついたんですが、ちょっとコース、2脱、アウトゾーン2でしてしまいましたが、全体的に見て、そこだけ見るとねコースアウトしてるんですが、全体的に見て何ポイントになるのかちょっと見ていきたいと思いますが。さあ、アウトゾーン2の付近タイヤ2脱をして、なんとかコース、その後ねアウトゾーン3に向かう部分も、コース内に収めていきましたが、全体的に角度もなかなか取れている、そして、アクセル回路もなかなか多いのではないかと思いますが、オーストラリアからの、参戦となりますメスマー選手、1本目はノーポイント、2本目何ポイントになるのか。 Sitting on an incomplete for his first run all the way from Australia, Daniel Mesmer. Let's see what his second run is going to be. You know, knocking off 2 tires at the outside zone 2 is a big deduction, but at the same time you got to see the whole picture. You do have some deductions, but if you have positive in some other areas, that could actually equal out the score too. So we'll see what he gets on his second run.
Yeah, it'll offset everything, so we'll see what the score is. It's about to be projected now on the screen. I have a lot of mid to high 70s on the chat right now. There you go, 72.
さあ、メスマー選手2本目72ポイント。ちょっとやはりねスタイルの部分、ラインの部分も、伸びきれなかった部分はありましたが、72ポイントです。さあ続いての、ドライバーゼッケン67番大友隆一選手、小松レーシング、現在80ポイントで、予選3位タイかな。I think he's tied in third right now in the qualifying points.
Yeah, first to get in the 80, Ultimo. See how he's going to do this time around. Track conditions are totally different from whenever he started. A lot drier. Here he is, throwing smoke early on into that outer zone 1. Commitment coming into this outer zone 2. Nice shot through outer zone 3 there, and here he is with a strong finish at Ultimo.
さあ全体的に、ドライの中でもまとめてきた大友選手、ここがすごいいいっていう部分もないんですが、大きい、減点もないような、感じがしました。There wasn't really anything spectacular about his run, but also there wasn't really much deductions too. So I'd have to say maybe an above average run overall. You know, left a few points here and there on the angle and the line side of it, but let's see what the score is going to be. ラインもアングルもね満点とまではいかないんですが、すごい減点もいっぱいはないので、もうちょっと、詰めればぐぐっと上がるかもしれないポイントだと思いますが、2本目80ポイント、1本目同様ですね。That's an 80、for Otomo's second run. So pretty much same in the dry and the wet. ドライでもウェットでも安定した走りが、できたと思います。さあ、次のドライバーも、現在1本目がノーポイントになっていますゼッケン773、近本七海選手 from 日比野塾。 She's also sitting on an incomplete for her first run. Let's see what she can do for a second.
Here she is coming around the 3-2-1. Nice shot through that outer zone 1, filling that zone. Little adjustment there. Could have been a little deeper through outer zone 2, holding back a little through that outer zone 3, but getting a run in the books. We'll see what the judges are going to give her for her first run from her last incomplete that she got the first time around.
ちょっと全体的に角度も浅めだったんですが、コース幅なんとかいっぱいに走ろうとしているみたいです。ちょっとアウトゾーンにも寄り切れない部分、振り返しの部分でもですね、ちょっと角度をあまりつけないような、感じで振り返しをしていきました塚本選手。さあさらさらっと走っていった感じなんですが、スタイルのジャッジ、そしてラインのジャッジの目にはどう映ったんでしょう。塚本選手2本目の得点70ポイント。 That's a 70 from Tsukamoto's second run. I'm not sure if that's enough. That might be, she might be on the bubble. I'm not sure. さあ、塚本選手が70ポイント2本目取りました。続いてのドライバーゼッケン10番、甲斐健一選手 D-Like with 鉄人、こちらも1本目のポイント。 Also sitting on an incomplete for his first run. See what he can do for a second.
Kai is approaching the 3-2-1. Not too bad through outer zone 2. Just a little bit of angle out through there, bringing it back around to outer zone 2 there. Not bad through outer zone 3, and then finishing strong right there through outer zone 4.
こちらも安全な走りという感じでしょうか。角度もパイはついていない、全体的にさらっと走り上げた感じ、ちょっと安全な走行をしすぎてしまったのか。ラインは、もしかしたらね結構いいところまで詰めているかもしれませんが、あとはスタイルの部分で何ポイント入ったのか、ちょっとアウトゾーン1ちょっとだけ余っていたのかなというところ、そしてアウトゾーン2もなんとか寄せ寄っていこうというところ。この甲斐選手、looks like there was a few points on the table that he left for the line as well. And angle-wise, I'm not gonna lie, that wasn't super impressive. But he gets a 72. Kai gets a 72. 甲斐選手72ポイントです。さあこの70点台に入ってきたドライバーたちがどこまでベスト16に食らいついていけるのかは僕には全く分かりません。I do not know where the cutoff is, and I'm not even going to say it anymore. So we can figure it out later.
Exactly. But next at the line is going to be number 32, Kazuya Ozeki in his Twins Inc. Murata Motors with Tops Racing.
Murata Motors
got 75 on his first qualify run. But like you were saying, this might not be safe, so he's got to do something this time around. Second qualify run, here he is, leaving the 3-2-1, bringing it into this outer zone 1 here. Not bad through that zone, carrying it through. Let's see how deep he's going to get into this outer zone 2. Not able to go all the way out to that outer zone 2, throwing him off for that outer zone 3. You can see right there, missing outer zone 4 completely.
ちょっと、アウトゾーン寄り切れない上に角度もあんまりつけられないという、もしかしたら食いすぎちゃってるのかわからないんですが、これは1本目のスコア出せるかどうかはちょっとわからないですね。あまり元気もない走りだったんで、I'm not going to lie, Ozeki's second run doesn't look too impressive, and in my opinion, I'm not even sure if that's going to be better than his first run, because overall was kind of a low energy, low angle, missing some of the outside lines, a lot of points on the table that he can actually go and get. ということで1本目の75ポイントがあるので、大関選手2本目は66ポイント、大関66 on his second run。さあ続いてのドライバーゼッケン786カーン・ロハブ選手 from our nation。さあ、ロハブ選手1本目が79ポイント。Already sitting on a 79. I'd have to say that's pretty safe.
Exactly, but being dry conditions and the drivers, knowing the driver, he's a very aggressive driver, so I know he's going to put out right here.
そうなんです。アグレッシブなドライバーなんでちょっと楽しみですが。
There he is, look at that nice angle through that 3-2-1, kicking it out to this outer zone 1 right there. See how far he's going to carry it into this outer zone 2. Nice job through the outer zone 2, bringing it back around. With a strong finish through the outer zone 4. Not bad, but is it going to be enough to bump that 79-point first qualify run?
I don't know if he was gripping up a little bit too much, but once again, you know, angle-wise, not a whole lot here. Overall, it looked like he did a little better when it was wet, but it looks like a very safe way of angle. Now he's filling all the zones, dipping a tire at outside zone 3.アウトゾーン3でもちょっとタイヤが出てしまいましたが、ゾーン的には全体的にアウトになんとか寄り切れてラインを狙ってきている走りなのかなと思いますが、やはりね、スタイルのスコアもそこまで伸びなかったので、2本目、ロハブ・カーン選手73ポイントです。73 on Rohab's second run. Didn't get a crazy amount of style score either, and not a high score overall, but he has a 79 first, so
Sitting pretty nice for sure, yeah.
そうですね、79ポイント1本目で取っているので、安心できるのではないかと思いますが、次のドライバーは安心していられない。The next driver cannot be, must be worried about their second run, but hopefully he doesn't get nervous here. Car number 28, Itsuki Fukada from Toto House Team Dunlop. Fukada Itsuki 選手1本目のポイント。She's sitting on an incomplete for her first run.
Let's see how she's going to do this second run. There she is, approaching the 3-2-1, or the outer zone 1 right there. Could have been a little deeper through that zone. Let's see if it's going to throw her offline to the rest of these zones. And there she is, filling outer zone 2, flicking it back around into that outer zone 3 there. Not too bad right there. Strong finish by her in that outer zone 4.
さあ、深田選手1本目と、打って変わって2本目はもちろんスコアが入った。ちょっと浅めではあるんですが、なんとかラインをトレースしていこうとしている走り。アウトゾーン1、ちょっと足りない、その分アウトゾーン2は、なんとか、いいところライン通れたんですが、アウトゾーン3、4ですね、ラインのスコアはアウトゾーン1では結構減点になるんではないかと思いますが、全体的に迫力があるかというと、嘘になってしまいますが、なんとかポイントを入れるために抑えてきた走り、のようです。73 point. That's Fukada's second run. She gets a 73. Now I don't know where the bubble's at. I have no idea, but it looked very safe. And I would have to say, not the most exciting run, but she is there just to get a score. さあ、続いてのドライバーゼッケン219、杉田秀彦選手、Worker。1本目72ポイント。He has a 72. He has 72. I don't even know what's the cutoff, so I'm not going to say much about that, but see what he's going to do for a second run.
Yeah, 72 is not 100% safe. It's questionable, and here he is. He's got to put it out, all out on the line right here, coming around outer zone 1. Could have been a little deeper through that zone, bringing it back around to the outer zone 2, and you can see clearly how this track is drying up, given the challenges to these drivers, but he's making it happen through that outer zone 4.
ドライになってからやはり角度がちょっと浅めかなという感じがしていますが、looks like everybody's kind of shallowing up, maybe because it's getting grippier because it's dry. But yeah, like you said, it's fully dry. 結構ねフルドライだと思うんですが、アウトゾーン3ちょっと伸ばしていきましたが、コース外、リアタイヤ出てしまいましたが、その後伸ばしてアウトゾーン4、なんとかコースを走っていきました。さあ、先ほどの72ポイントとどのぐらい差が出るのか。Let's see how different of a score it's going to be from his 72 point run he has from his first run.
We'll see here. There you go, 70 for his second
やは
qualified
り
run.
先ほどよりかはちょっと、スコアが落ちてしまいました。2本目70ポイント、1本目72ポイント。70 on his second run. さあ、続いてのドライバー、ゼッケン200番、二川隆選手、R&T Factory 20ソアラに乗っている二川選手。I love the car. It's an old school car. Sitting on a 73 from his first run.
We'll see how he's going to adjust himself for a second qualified run to bump that score up. Like Robbie said, GZ20 Soar, old school Soar, just like the Luro we just saw. We'll see here, but yeah, shout out to y'all viewing in, chiming into the chat. I see the scores out there. I've been kind of reading through as we were going all day, but yeah, shout out to y'all. I haven't given you guys a shout out for viewing in to this FDJ2. This is round 3 for them in the Sportsland Sugo. Huge track. Last event we had was FDJ2 was at Ebisu. Here we are waiting for Futagawa to make his second qualify run. All right, so they may be having some issues with Futagawa. Robbie's getting some clarification for y'all.
さあ、ですね、カーナンバー200、二川隆選手の2本目、スタートするところです。Now, we are about to see Futagawa's second run. Now it's all dry. Let's see what he's got. さあ、ドライの状態でどんな走りをしてくるか。
Nice job through that outer zone 1. Hitting the rumble strip, bringing it back around to the other rumble strip right there to outer zone 2. Nice job right on the edge. Looks like he had one tire right there, but overall, not too bad of a run. But is it going to be enough for that first 73-point qualify run that he had?
さあ、全体的に、まとめてきた走り、アウトゾーンクリアしていきます。角度もまあまあ、ついてます。アウトゾーンにちょっと逸脱、アウトゾーン3でも逸脱、半分かな、というところ、アウトゾーン4もうちょっと攻めれたのかなという、感じがしましたが、全体的にそのドライの中で思う存分走っていただきましたが、二川選手の2本目はどんなスコアになるのか。It looks like, he's able to try to show off his full potential now in the dry. There were a couple of points that he left on the table, not filling the zones. I'd say okay amount of angle totally. さあ、二川選手2本目77ポイント。
77 for his second qualify run. They were asking about his engine. I was checking out the chat.
Oh, it's a 2J.
Twin turbo.
Twin turbo though. Yeah, that's why it sounds like, kind of sounds like an RB.
Yeah, he's rocking the twins.
2J のツインターボなんですね。二川選手、なんか RB っぽい音。
I'll try to get.
さあ、続いてのドライバーは、1本目ノーポイントになっているゼッケン220石塚慎一選手、アウトガラージ as Cleve Sunoco Hysteria.
Sitting on an incomplete, here he is bringing it around to outer zone 1. Looks like he took a little bit of his angle away in that outer zone 1, but bringing it back around, wrapping it into this outer zone 2. Nice job swinging it back around through outer zone 3. Let's see the strong finish into this last zone. Definitely a lot more exciting seeing some smoke out of these cars.
Yes, it is. さあ、このね、タイヤスモークが見れるっていうのがね、すごくやっぱりドリフトではドリフトっぽいなっていう感じがしますが、石塚選手1アウトでは角度つききれないんですが、2、3の部分ですね、どんどん進化していくような感じ、このドライの路面を噛み締めていくような走り。Looks like he's figuring the car out as he is going. Because he was kind of shallow and timid at outside zone 1, but he kind of finished off the track, getting a little bit more wilder and dynamic towards the end. So let's see how that's going to affect his score. Oh. さあ、
79.
石塚選手の2本目79ポイント。さあ、ノーポイントから79ポイントに大きくステップアップしてきました。ということで、80ポイントに近い79、を取っています。さあ、続いてのドライバーゼッケン2番、ラバー博士 AMC レーシング。1本目が73ポイント。Dr. Rubber sitting on 73 for his first run. Let's see how he does in the full dry conditions.
Exactly. New car for him this round. He was usually in his all-white S14, powered by a 2J, but here he is today in a 180 SX. Here he is leaving the outer zone, or 321 right there. Looks like he took a little bit away, adjusting himself, bringing it back around. See how much more aggressive. Dipping 2 tires right there through that outer zone 2, and oh, it looks like 3 right there through outer zone 3. may be unfortunate for him, and he might be stuck with that 73 point. Oh, just hanging on right there. Getting a little wild in the finish.
ちょっとアウトゾーン3の付近ですね、3本なのかを再確認しなきゃいけないんですが、車いっぱいいっぱいの、挙動を使っている感じがしましたが、これはアウトゾーン3での3奪、残念ながらラバー博士2本目はノーポイント。 That's going to be an incomplete for Dr. Rubber on his second run. Overall, everything looked like it was going good. And you know, kind of overshooting after the finish line. That's besides the story here. But the second run, he gets an incomplete because of outside zone 3. アウトゾーン3ですね。タイヤが3奪になってしまったので、ノーポイント。なので1本目73ポイントですね。So that's 73 points that he's going to have to bank on for the top 16. さあ続いてのドライバー、1本目も79ポイントを取っている、箕輪正也選手 from Heyman。さあ2本目、このドライの路面でどんな走りをしてくれるか。
Our top 10 drivers now. Here she is sitting at a 79 on her first qualified run. New engine in the car. 3.4 liter 2J, bringing it back around. She had a 3.1 before. Right there, that extra power carrying her all the way out to the outer zone 2. Oh, dipping 2 tires right there through that transition into outer zone 3. We'll see.
ちょっと今も、アウトゾーン3危ないところでしたが、箕輪選手1本目、2本目の走行よりちょっと元気があるような感じ。アウトゾーンギリギリ、そして振り返しちょっとまったりしているので、アウト3ちょっと出過ぎちゃったかなという部分がありますが、全体的に、スコアは入ります。
Yeah, the outer zone 1 and 2, very fluid throughout those, but it looks like the transition when she comes to that outer zone 3, there's a little hesitation.
そしてスムーズに、アウトゾーン1に行ったんですが、2から3に行くところでちょっとだけ躊躇しちゃったのかなというところですが、まあ1奪で、アウトゾーン3は過ぎていきましたが、さあ2本目のスコア77ポイントです。That's a 77 for Minowa's second run. She has a 79 for her first run, and that's what we're going to count for the top 16. ベスト16に反映するスコアは1本目の79ポイントとなります。さあ続いてのドライバーも後がない。ゼッケン78番池本和真選手 from Progress Project Mu Motis。こちらも1本目、ノーポイント incomplete for first run.
Yes, one of the two that we have that have incompletes for these last 9 drivers. Here he is coming around into this outer zone 1. Real shallow through that zone, deep in the zone, but shallow on the angle, bringing it back around to the outer zone 2. Not a huge aggressive flick, dipping a tire right there, but bringing it back around into that outer zone 4, getting points on the board for him.
さあこちらもなんとか得点を入れるための走り、ちょっとダイナミックではない、走行だと思いますが、なんとかスコアを入れてきました、池本選手。去年の1位通過の走りとはちょっと違う抑えめな走り、ですが、つけなきゃいけないところでは角度をつける、ライン通らなきゃいけないところではきっちり取ってきている感じですが、あとはスタイルとラインの得点が何ポイント入っているのかによってスコアが決まってきますが、やはりね1本目失敗をしているので2本目そこまで元気な走りをするっていうのはね大きいリスクなので。どんなちょっと元気がないような、走りだったと思いますが、you know, taking the risk is harder if you're sitting on an incomplete for first run. さあ、池本選手1本目、ごめんなさい、2本目74ポイント、that's 74 for 池本 second run。さあ今ですね、何ポイントで予選通過なのか僕は分からないので、皆さんのご想像にお任せします。I'll leave it up to you in your imagination on who's going to be qualifying. If you're, you know, 70 in the 70s, I'm not sure what point.
Yeah, and if you're following, there's a bracket right there in the chat. You can click on to follow the scores, what's going on, and it pretty much tells you who's possibly going to be in the top 16.
Okay. さあ今ね、斉藤選手の車両ちょっとチェックをしていますが。何かあったんでしょうか。Is there something wrong with Saito's car? checking out his car. I remember he used to use this car as a missile at Ebisu before he turned it into an FC Japan car. このね、斉藤選手、以前ね、恵比寿でも前見かけたんですが、この競技車両にやる前はもう本当サーキット専用車両で、まあまあボコボコな状態で走ってたのを、思い出しますが、この今車の状態がどうなっているのか、そして今スタートラインでどういうことになっているのか。
Yeah, and then last round at Ebisu, he had a lot of mechanical issues between, drive shaft issues to his transmission issues. But looks like things are squared away. He had an 80 for his first qualify run. You can see man on the mic right there is talking to Robbie, letting him know what's going on, so you guys can know what's happening out there on the start line.
So I think they were talking, I just talked to the tech guys, they were talking about his car's making a pretty loud noise from his diff and talking about if it's going to be, drivable or not. And I think Saito's just going to go. So
he's like, full send, let's make it happen.
Yeah, you know what? If I blast the track with oil all over the place, it's not me
Don't
driving
say
afterwards,
that.
so who cares?
Don't say that.
I'm just saying.
Hey, but he's sitting on an 80. He's sitting really nice right now. Like I said, he had drivetrain issues last event.
そうなんですよね。トラブルが出ないことに祈っているんですが、なんか斉藤選手、ちょっと駆動系から音が出ているということで、ちょっと一旦ストップしていましたが、はい、ダメでした。That's it. So, これトラブったらライン、みんなが走るライン上を走るのちょっとやめてほしいですけどね。If your car might be leaking something, I kind of want you to be off the line that everybody's gonna be on, but I'm not sure what happened, but
yeah, we'll see if we can get more answers on what's going on with his vehicle.
もうね、壊れちゃうのはまあ残念なんですが、やっぱりね、漏れがあったりとかすると、コース全体、他のドライバーにも影響しますし、大会自体に影響してしまうので、まあね、もちろん壊れてしまったっていう部分ではしょうがないんですが、
Here we are, our last 7 drivers right here. Sitting at the line now, ready to go, is number 13, Mikey Nakamura, in the Mikey Racing with Nambe JZX. What it is a 100 exterior JZX 90 Chaser. So yeah, beautifully built car. You can see it up close. He has a lot of flake in that black paint. Here he is approaching the 3-2-1.
Nakamura Mike選手の2本目。
Nice aggressive flick right there in that 3-2-1. Look at that smoke trail swinging back around. Nice job filling that zone, bringing it into this outer zone 2. And there you are right there, bringing it into outer zone 3. Nice job by Mikey into this last zone to the finish. He had a 79 on his first qualify run, and I'm having a strong feeling he might be a contender for number 1.
I'd have to say this is probably one of the higher angle scores. He's throwing a lot of angle, a lot of throttle, very exciting to watch, and this is what we want to see. And hopefully you guys understand too, so let's see what you guys think on the score. さあ、角度も、なかなかつけています。そして踏みっぷりもなかなかいい。ラインも、出すぎず、入りすぎずと、なかなかいい、走りだったんではないかと思いますが、あとは、スタイルのスコア、そしてラインのスコアを合計した得点が何ポイントになるのか、ちょっと楽しみです。Looking forward to seeing what the score is going to be.
Yeah, it was a very smooth run by Mikey. See mid 80s on this chat. There you go, 87 for his second qualify run.
I just guessed that too, but yeah, I mean, it looked like an 87-point run. That was out of all the runs that we saw, obviously the most exciting, and also a lot of throttle, a lot of angle. So good job by Nakamura. 中村選手ね、今のね87ポイントにふさわしい、踏みっぷりもいい、角度もなかなかついてる、ラインもきっちり取れてる、かなりいい走り。現在、予選トップになりました、中村選手。 その次を行く、今さっきまでトップだった、ゼッケン115浜田清美選手 GH レーシング、さっきまで83ポイント、大きくそこで4ポイントアップ、87ポイントを取った中村選手に今度は
He was our top qualifier.
Yeah, he can get his spot back.
Hopefully his spotter's in his ear telling him he needs to turn up, and here he is turning it up into outer zone 1, bringing it back around to this outer zone 2. Not too bad through that zone, bringing it through the outer zone 3. I don't know if it's going to be enough.
さあ今のちょっとアウトゾーン2付近で調整をしなきゃいけない、スムーズさに欠けてしまいますが、全体的にちょっと似ている中村選手には角度的には、そこまで負けていないと思いますが、あとはその、全体的な踏みっぷり、そしてスタイルのスコアがどのくらい影響してくるのか、ちょっとねアウトゾーン3から4に行く、付近でも若干車を立てるような感じ、しかし、全体的に見て80点台には入ってくるんではないかと思いますが、さあ先ほどまでね、トップだった浜田選手、今回はドライでの、2本目の走行。79ポイントです、浜田79。さあやはりね、ちょっとずつ、まあ、完璧に走りきれない部分がいくつかあったと思いますが、まあ、1本目で83ポイント取っているので、現在、予選では2位、といったところですね。So, still second against 83。さあ続いてのドライバーゼッケン514野村圭一選手、ティーム九州リューラス with Cusco。さあこちらもドライで本領発揮できるか、ダイナミックな走りができるか。
We'll see, sitting on a 72 right now. Needs to pick it up here for a second qualify run. Can't make any mistakes bringing it into this outer zone 2 here. Right on the edge of outer zone 2. Oh, a little bit of a correction there through that outer zone 3, but able to hang on and make it through to finish.
繰り返しのシャープさはあったんですが、角度まで、深いところまではつけなかったみたいです。さあ全体的にもね、まずまずの角度、そしてラインをアウトゾーン1、なんとかいっぱいいっぱいのところまで持っていこうとしていますが、ここですね、このクイックな、振り返し、ちょっとその後挙動乱れましたが、全体的に踏み切れているんではないかと思います。さあ、野村選手の2本目、1本目よりスコアを上げてこれるか、そしてこの、80点台になんとかポイントを入れてこれるのかどうか。Is he going to be able to get into his 80s? What do you guys think? Is he going to better his first qualify run? I think it might be better than his first qualify run, but I don't know where he's going to put him.
I don't know. A lot of these scores in the chat. There you go. 71. We're about that. 71 is what they were saying.
ということで野村選手の2本目なんと71ポイントということで1本目の72ポイントでなんとかベスト16通過できるかどうか。さあ続いてのドライバーゼッケン131龍馬選手サムライスタイルレーシング、先ほどは75ポイントを取っているこの大型、アリストで、参戦の龍馬選手 sitting on a 75 with this huge chassis, big GS 400 300 Aristo chassis. See what he's going to do for a second run.
Here he is right here. Sitting in fourth right now. Nice job filling that zone, outer zone 1. Very important right there. Nice job. Dipping 2 tires, but here he is. Let's see the strong finish by him through the outer zone 4.
すごい、角度はすごい、ちょっとラインねはみ出てしまいましたが、すごいダイナミックな走り、先ほどもねドラミでお話ししていたんですが、差し引きでちょっとコース、幅足りなくなってもその角度を足そうとか、いろいろなやり方が、全体的にどのぐらいスコアが上がるかどうかっていうのをちょっと、見ていかなきゃいけないんですが、 Talking about at the drivers meeting, he did sacrifice a line there at outside zone 3 to get the angle, and I think it's working really well because overall it looks like he has high amount of angle through outside zone 1 and 2. Nice flick going to the outside zone 3. He does dip 2 tires out there, but let's see how much points the line score is going to be deducted from there. But also, I'd have to say he has probably one of the highest angle scores from me throughout all the qualify results that we've seen today.
We'll see here. It's vital for these last few drivers to get high on the board and make it in top 16 because there's only a 4-point difference between the 5th place person and 2nd place person.
今ですね、コース上では、落下物を回収しているみたいですが、looks like the course track guys are picking up something on the track, something fell off the vehicle. But as you can see on the replay right there, full throttle going through outside zone 4 and the finish line. And here we go, deducting. There are some deductions by the style judge and the line judge, but it's an 80. リューマ選手80ポイントです。さあ、さっきの75から打って変わって80ポイントまで上げてきました。Sitting on a 75, moving up to an 80. Very impressive by this young driver. さあ、続いてのドライバー、ゼッケン104、水野俊彦選手、Blast Luck M&Y ガレドリ with 和倉温泉。先ほどはちょっと、予選はやばいかもという68ポイント。
Sitting on a 68, sitting in 3rd overall in points. 68 is not safe. He needs to make it into the top 16. It's vital to keep his point score in the race for the top. Here he is, finishing strong through that outer zone 4. We'll see if it was enough to get him into the top 16.
さあ、ちょっとまた小雨も降ってきましたが、全体的には角度はなかなか、つけてきています、先ほどよりコンディション変わっているんでしょう。水野選手、しかしちょっとだけアウトゾーン余っている部分、目立ちますが、アウトゾーン1は、クリアしていると思うんですが、2ゼブラまでが、タイヤがいける範囲ちょっと届かない。そしてこのコースいっぱいアウトゾーン3もですね、少し角度を浅めにして3から4に向かう感じになってしまいましたが、ちょっと先急ぐ感じの走行でした。 Looks like he was kind of in a rush。 それでも78ポイント、水野選手2本目78ポイント。 So that's a 78 from Mizuno's second run。Nothing to say?
No, I'm just hoping the next driver shows up because he was unable to show up for his first qualify run.
I got high hopes. He's got it. He got this.
We'll see if he makes it.
今ですね、この先ほどスタートに立てなかったジャマケン選手が来れるかどうか心配していたんですが、2本目の走行になります。ゼッケン888、現在シリーズランキング2位のジャマケン選手 from Laudada Company with freestyle。2本目の走行、これ1本で、なんとかいいスコアを取ってベスト16に残らなければいけない大事な1本。さあ、ジャマケン選手
Leaving the 3-2-1, here he is. It sounds like his car is ready to battle it out. Nice job filling that outer zone 1 and that outer zone 2. Little bit of an adjustment right there, leaving that outer zone 3.
アウトゾーン3から4にかけてちょっとストールではないけど音が消える部分ありましたね。角度もアウトゾーン1、そして2、まずしかしこのアウトゾーン3から4にと行く場所でちょっと車1回クラッチ切ってストールをした感じかな。さあこの現在シリーズランキング2位のジャマケン選手の2本目のみ、走行1本目トラブルで、走行できず2本目に全てをかけた走り、ぶっちぎりの走行ではない。ちょっとどこに何ポイントになるのか僕にも分かりません。It's really hard for me. 82ポイントです。ジャマケン選手82ポイント。That's 82 by ジャマケン。Makes it. And yeah, there you go. He does build a line and that really helps out. 今のですね、ラインが結構きっちり取れているということで、ラインの得点、まあまあ高めでした。ということで、ジャマケン選手も80ポイント台に入ってきました。さあ、残るは、現在シリーズランキング1位のヨザハリー選手 from Harry's Auto with Big Kid Blocks Japan。現在73ポイント。いっぱいポイントの入れ替わりがあるので、何ポイントが予選ギリギリなのか僕には分からない。
Yeah, 73 is not the safe zone, so we're going to see he needs to step it up here. No mistake, sitting top on the points ranking overall. for this year's season with 131 points, and here he is ripping into that outer zone 2. Nice job filling that zone, bringing it back around through that outer zone 3, getting right back on the throttle for the outer zone 4, and a strong finish by Yoza.
さあ、与座選手、全体的にちょっとね、いっぱいアクセルを煽りながら合わせる感じがしましたが、角度的にはまず、アウトゾーンのライン、なかなか、取れている感じがしますが、ここでさっきの73ポイント以上いけるのかどうか。Let's see if that 73 is he going to be able to better his first qualify run on his second one here. Looks like he's able to take the car to the outside zones and also throw a good amount of angle. I'm not going to say the best, but it's all up to what the style judge and the line judge and what I put in to see what his total score is going to be for his second qualify run. さあ、2本目の、予選の走行何ポイントになって、これで誰がベスト16を通って誰がここで残念ながら予選敗退していってしまうのか、この後決まりますが、ちょっとドキドキしているドライバーもいると思いますが、誰が予選を通過して、
And this is it right there, 76.
際どいな、76ポイントということで、誰がどこでどういう風に通っているか僕には全く分かりませんが、ここでですね、予選の走行すべて終了いたしました。So that's two qualify runs from all the drivers that we had, 32 total drivers. 32台のドライバーたちがここで、2本ずつ予選を走り終えた結果、この後ですね、結果のアナウンスもしていきたいと思いますが、SNS などをね、見て皆さん、誰がトップで通過したか見てもらいたいと思いますが、ここでさよならする前に今日の、予選トップの走りをちょっと見ていきたいと思います。Before we go, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys one more run by the top qualifier here today at Sugo. さあ、こちら中村真生選手、元気がいい、ラインもそこそこバッチリ、角度もなかなかついているという、とてもねエキサイティングな走り、そしてね見ての通り白煙がずっと止まらない、不密派の状態でいました。As you can see, you know, Mikey Nakamura not letting out the throttle. There's a huge smoke cloud chasing his car around. Good amount of angle, running a very tight line on the outside zones. A very nice run, and I think he deserves the number one qualifier right here at Sugo.
Exactly. At the first round, Suzuka Twin, he podiumed, and I know he's hungry to podium again here, round 3, because he was unfortunately not able to do it at Ebisu.
そうなんです。恵比寿ではできなかったんですが、鈴鹿ツインでは、なんとか、表彰台に乗れたので、まあ今日のこの、トップ通過は多分非常に嬉しいんではないかと思います。まあ、実力があるドライバーいっぱいいます。さあ、この先のですねちょっとタイムスケジュールなんですが、明日の予定です。FDJ2、横浜タイヤプレゼンツ FDJ2 なんですが、明日の予定9時から、トップ16のオープニングセレモニーが行われますので、皆さんお楽しみにしてください。We're going to be back here at Japan time 9 o'clock tomorrow morning to do the top 16 top 16 opening ceremony here at the Yokohama Presents FDJ2 round 3.
But yes, this is a busy weekend. We have FDJ2, we have the Pro Series going on also. So tune into a lot. Check out the live streams. It's all on the on YouTube right now. You can see the times. You can bookmark it. Make sure it happens. Give you a reminder.
そうなんです。今日お越しの、皆様、そしてご覧になっていただいた皆様ありがとうございました。明日ですね、今日はこの後、プロ1の、FDJ1 の、練習があります。There's going to be FDJ1 practice after this, but 明日、このトップ16、そして明日、FDJ の J1 の、予選も明日ありますので、そちらもぜひライブストリームの方でご覧になってください。Don't forget to tune in to our live stream that we have tomorrow, like we said. Top 16 tomorrow, opening ceremony, and also the qualifying for the FDJ guys.
Yes, exactly. But thank you all out there for
Thank you
tuning
very
in
much.
all around the world. We were tuning into the chat. Made me chuckle a few times from what I was reading. But most of all, thank you, Robbie, for doing both
Kenny,
Japanese
and
and
thank you to all the
English.
drivers and the rest of the judges. So we'll see you back here tomorrow morning. 明日の朝皆さん、ぜひ、ベスト16のオープニングセレモニーで会いましょう。We'll see you back here at the top 16 opening ceremony. Peace out.
Ultimate lubricant. Mortis.
What's up, guys? It's Frederick Ospo, and I use RSR suspension on all my drift cars. I love RSR. Iyo RSR Ichiban.
Made in Japan. Breed.